What is up, my friends? We are live at one of the biggest match days of the season. Liverpool travelled to Old Trafford to take on Manchester United, and the team news has dropped. The big breaking news: no Alexander Isak in the Liverpool matchday squad today, as was reported yesterday. We're also going to talk about the fact that Rio's on the bench. No Alisson, Woodman's in goal, so we'll talk about that in a moment. But that is the big breaking news. So those injury fears that were spreading yesterday, well, they were true. So unfortunately, no Isak. So that's what we have, ladies and gents. Let's go through the team for you for the first time today. What's this one? Dominic King for next Liverpool manager. Yeah, no, Dominic King is... yeah, let's just say no and be polite about it, my man. Let's just say no and be polite about it. There's a lot I'd rather say about it, but, you know, let's just hold off for now. But let's just say Dominic King for Liverpool Gimp, maybe? That one sounds better. Anyway, look. Here's the team for today, ladies and gentlemen. It's Freddie Woodman in goal. Then it's Curtis Jones at right back, Andy Robertson at left back, Kanade and Van Dijk in the centre-back positions, Alexis McAllister, Orion Gravenberch in the deep-line positions, Dominic Szoboszlai, Florian Wirtz and Jeremy Frimpong with Cody Gakpo up top. That is the 11. The bench today for the Reds, I'll go through it now for you, my friends. It is Pechi, Gomez, Kirkes, Chiesa, Nioni, Morrison, Rio, Ndiaye and Wright. So fairly young bench there for Liverpool as well. The Manchester United team is dropped as well. Let me quickly run through that one for you. It's Lamons in goal. Then it's Dalot, Maguire, Heaven and Luke Shaw making up their back four. Casemiro and Kobe Mainoo in the deep line positions. Then it's Brian Mbeumo, Bruno Fernandes, Mateus Cunha with Benjamin Sesko up top. So that is it. We know the two sides, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's all down to the football. What's going to happen? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Score predictions, all very welcome. And as you can see today, we've been brought to you thanks to our friends at Huel as well. So, Weren't said I was joking. Dominic King's a yes man. Me and Dominic King have a bit of beef as well, though. So, yeah. But look, ultimately, those who said Isak was injured were correct, and those who jumped all over the situation were wrong. And some of them knew that they were wrong, by the way. The likes of Doyle and that deleting tweets, it's embarrassing, to be honest with you. But unfortunately, we are where we are in that regard. Those fears were true. So, you know, let's talk about it. And hello to my friend as well. Who was it that I was just chatting with there? Weren't Orby, LX or Roblox. How are you, bro? Welcome in. So look, ladies and gents, let me know your thoughts on this one. I don't really know what to expect personally from a score prediction or anything like that. It's really hard to gauge what Liverpool's going to show up and what United's going to show up. I think it's certainly going to be an interesting 90 minutes, and fingers crossed we can get ourselves a decent result. What's this one from OG1234? Why has he only just realised to play Robbo? I don't know. It's a bit of a resurgence for Andy Robertson at the end of his Liverpool career. We know Kirk has had a niggle as well, so I don't know if that leaned into it as well. But look, it's fine. Andy Robertson knows this fixture inside out, so no issues with that whatsoever. I don't know, lads. I mean, an optimistic 2-2, maybe. Other than that, I'm not really feeling bundles of optimism for the game. But then again, look, I think that's only natural when we're looking at the 11 and we're so depleted with injuries. Jonathan, how are you, my man? Hey, Craig, I can't wait for this season to end. Well, thank you for 18 months with us as a member, Jonathan, my man. I really appreciate your support. And look, we've only got 3 games left, my man. Let's wait and see what happens. At least we are safely tucked into the Champions League spots. That's something that, you know, is a positive for the end of the season. But apart from that, you know, today's game is a big one for both managers for different reasons, I guess. Carrick looking to make sure that he's given the full-time Manchester United job, and Arna trying to save his Liverpool job. So let's wait and see what happens. James said, we'll be watching from behind the sofa. Transitions are going to kill us. Yeah, look, I don't know how to feel for this one, but I know I feel nervous. But then again, that's perfectly normal, isn't it? You'd always feel nervous ahead of a big game against Manchester United. So let's wait and see what happens. I mean, we've been spoiled with some of the results in modern times in this fixture, haven't we? I was looking back through a few of them earlier on. 5-0, 4-0, 7. You know, it's been a fruitful hunting ground for us in years gone past Old Trafford. But that was a far more confident Liverpool. Let's see what today's version come up with. Nessie said, treating Arna like he's doing us a favour for not leaving. Dominic King literally pissed me off before the game. That article it's weird. I don't know what else to say, Nessie. As soon as I seen it, I sent it to Connor and said, have you seen this lad? Writing with a straight face that Arne Slot would be perfectly within his rights to leave Liverpool. I mean, I don't know what to say to that, Nessie. You know, there's a lot I'd say off camera about it, but there's not so much I'm going to say on camera about it because these fuckers are quite litigious. So I'm going to just say weird stance from him to look at it that way. But here's my take on it, Nessie. When I sat back and thought about the piece in more detail, I thought it was bait. And it is bait. And that's what I've come to the conclusion of. It was bait to try and make Liverpool fans angry, to try and get some traction for him going back to a newspaper, to try and show that he's got his finger on the pulse. So what I would say in future is, if you see any of these type of articles from Mr. Dominic King, don't bother clicking on them, because he's won if you click on it. So if you see anything like that from him, I would say, and what I'm going to do is just ignore it, because it's just bait and nonsense. And I don't really know what else to say about it, Nessie, other than I get why you're frustrated. Liz, how are we, my friend? Always a pleasure, Liz. For FFS, football's supposed to bring me joy. 2-4 LFC. Happy match day. Let's feckin' go. Thank you, Liz. Appreciate you. And I hope you're doing well, or as well as can be over in Florida, my friend. And love to Ian and the family. Road Rash said, afternoon, Craig. Still concerned if we somehow get third, Arne will keep his job. We need a backroom refresh. Well, it looks like maybe the head coach role isn't up for grabs, but the assistant coach, or the number 2 at Liverpool, seemingly could be up for grabs, with Giovanni van Bronckhorst being linked with a technical director role at Feyenoord, and Johnny Heidinger's name being mentioned yet again with a return to Liverpool. So we'll see what happens in that front. And thank you, Road Rash, for being with us for 9 months as well as a member. Appreciate that. Hamoudi, how are you, bro? Said, why not make something different? Play Rio and Chiesa. Look, the Rio shout, mate, is more than fair. And the fact that he's gone into today's game with such a depleted team and he still doesn't feel like he can play Rio, I don't know what to say about that, really. But it's disappointing. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. I would have loved to have seen him as well, Hamoudi, my man, but unfortunately, no joy. A man with no name. Kunasatatu Makara, how are you? Hey man, as an Irish man, I love the channel. Thank you. I'm not going to lie. I'm very proud to be Irish doing this. I am. I'm very proud that the most watched Liverpool fan channel has an Irish twist to it. I've always been really proud of that and really proud of where I come from. Let's hope we get the result today. I'd take a draw, but in games like this, we have to win. You'll never walk alone. Well, thank you, my friend. And yeah, look, a win would be great. It would. A win would be great today. It would give a little bit of gloss to the season, which has been a fairly frustrating one. But I really, as of yet, I'm nervous, but I don't know why I'm nervous. I don't know which way I think it's going to go, but I know I'm nervous. So, James Pearce reporting that Isak has a minor groin problem. Liverpool taking no risks given his injury issues last season. So, I love that they say Liverpool taking no risks, as if we've got something to hold them back for. Like, if you're not going to take a risk against United in the third to last game of the season, I just think, again, that's pandering from Mr. Jimmy Pearce. If he's injured, fair enough, but you don't need to add in the taking no risks bullshit. That's just pandering. If he's injured, fair, he's injured. But the taking no risks part kind of makes it sound like, well, maybe he could have played. And I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to achieve, but... right, what have we got here? 4 of Liverpool's 9 substitutes have never played a Premier League game or never made a Premier League appearance for the club. So that's another nice one there, isn't it, folks? Ahead of the game. Imagine thinking last year United would be favourites. I know. Even thinking 6 months ago and think United would be favourites going into this one would be mad. But like I said, I was at Anfield for the reverse fixture this season, and 62, 63 seconds in, I'm sitting there seeing him Brownwell put the ball in the net, and I'm thinking, oh, here we go. And I'm hoping maybe we can pull out a shock result today, much like that was at Old Trafford. Or excuse me, at Anfield. My apologies. Suna, how are you, my friend? Thank you. Leona switching between the hurling and Liverpool today. Nice. I seen Dublin won yesterday actually by 10 points in the football, so that was good. Tots Rocky, how are you, my friend? From Norway, if I'm not mistaken. So tired of seeing Gakpo in the team week in and week out and Rio on the bench every week. What's the reasoning? Slot, please leave our club. Look, the only thing I could say is experience is all I can say. But that doesn't mean we couldn't have seen Rio on the right as an example. I'm as disappointed as anybody. Like, even with all the injuries we have, still see no Rio start. And you know what? I'm going to say something, and you can agree, you can disagree. If this was the other way round, if this was United with a young starlet like that, and they had the injuries, I'm going to say they play him. Because that's something United have always done. If they have a young player that they believe in, is play them. Even if it is a big game like this. Like, today was perfectly set up to play Rio. You had a ready-made excuse, so you were covered in that angle. I just don't get it. And like I said, I honestly believe if this was a United player, they'd play him. That's my take on it. Don't have to agree with me, but honestly, I do believe that. News isn't getting leaked to the rag under Klopp's leadership. With that forward line, best we can get is a draw. Not looking forward to this. Yeah, so there's definitely got to be a conversation around how that information got to that newspaper. And I say newspaper very loosely. Yeah, look, there's some murmurings that there's a young player leaking stuff. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what's been doing the rounds anyway. But what we do know for certain is that news got out. And that news got out to an outlet that, quite frankly, nobody would want any exclusives for Liverpool or anything to do with Liverpool going to. So, yeah. I know yesterday there was a lot of people running around trying to make out like, oh, we can't say this or whatever. But once it was said by people, and I looked, it was printed by Goal, it was printed by The Express, it was, printed by Dave O.C. Cop. I remember Ian Doyle tweeting something about it. And then even earlier in the day, I think it was Will Bowyer, I think, or the young lad who deals with Liverpool's younger stuff. I think he kind of hinted to it earlier on in the day as well when he said, I think Gakpo might start through the middle tomorrow. So, got to find out where that leak came from. Of course, you don't want that type of information being leaked at any point, let alone to that outlet. Let's just say that. I'm not going to get myself in trouble today, so yeah, it's definitely an issue. Deeply concerning to me that the Rag managed to get an early exclusive on Isak. There's something seriously not right at this club now. So look, on that, I've said this to you guys for a few months now. There's definitely something not right at the club. And it is deeper than we're being made to believe. Just look at Salah's conversation when he had that lovely video that Sky made where, Hazard, Klopp and loads of players, Haaland and all were there talking about Salah, giving him praise, Pep Guardiola as well. And then after it, you see Salah doing a bit of an interview and basically said, people don't know everything. It's pretty clear there's something not right at the club. And despite the fact that they're trying to gloss over it, we can see it, we can feel it, it's tangible. You just get the sense that something isn't right at the minute. And you're right, mate, it's not great. It's very concerning that outlet in particular got that leak. And you got to figure out where it came from. And I'm sure that they will. I'm sure they'll figure out where it came from. I'm sure there'll be a few false flags put out there. And just to test the waters. That's usually what you do in these situations. You make something up. You put it out there and see where it's coming from. Or you put 2 or 3 different things out and see which one's going where. Slot needs to learn to surprise opponents' coaches. Well, to be fair, he tried it over in PSG by playing 5 at the back. But I wouldn't say that was more to surprise anybody rather than to not get whooped. Hope you're well, mate. Not expecting anything today, said Corbin. Yeah, expectation level, I really don't know what to expect, my man, other than hope we see a good performance. After that, look, we can't help it. The manager can't help it. Nobody can help the injuries. You know, we can talk about the training methods and all that as we have. But where we are right now, we can't get angry over the manager not having players available at the minute. It is what it is. So, but what we can get angry about is we don't see a performance from the players, because in games like this, the bare minimum you want as a fan is fight and effort. And if we see fight and effort today, well, then we'll let the cards fall as they may and see what happens. But if we get the right attitude, that'll go a long way. Mike said DNA test said I'm 80% Irish. Scousers are Irish. Yeah, you are. That's why I feel that kinship, mate, with the city, like I've said so many times. And I don't know if it is a special thing, but I think Irish and Scousers really are nearly one and the same. You know, I know that it means a lot to me that I feel that connection with the city of Liverpool as an Irish person. And yeah, welcome to the family. Shano, how are we, bro? I would wish you luck today, Shane, but you know, lots of love, bro, and all that. But I'm not going to wish you luck on today's game. Mad that this fixture is the same weekend as 5 years ago, of course. That game got postponed with our Super League protests. We thought we had them gone, but the Glazers are still here. Yeah, it's look, at least Carrick's steadied the ship for you this season, Shane. You know, that's it wouldn't have put you into the Champions League places gone back 4 or 5 months ago. So let's wait and see. What's this my mate sent me? Oh, I can't watch that, Jimbo, at the minute. My mate sent me a video and I can't watch it because this particular mate could say anything. So I'm not going to play that video. The night script. Hey, Craig. Since when did we have the luxury to not play our most explosive winger we have in the most important game? Wirtz left wing is wasted. Look, I would have put Rio to the right in this game. I probably would have still stuck with Wirtz on the left with the situation that we have, but I would have gone for Rio on the right and Gakpo through the middle. But he's gone for Frimpong. You know, let's just wait and see what happens with it, and fingers crossed. So do you want to know what was weird yesterday? I'm sitting in the house yesterday, you know, having pretty much a day off, and I'm sitting around and I get a message from Mr. Connor Crosby. And I always look at Connor's messages immediately because, you know, there could be something important for work, could be breaking news around Liverpool. But then I seen a little started following you. And I'm like, oh, who's this? So I was going, do you know who started following Anfield Agenda on Instagram yesterday? Mr. Brian McFadden of Westlife, formerly of Westlife, of Boys Life now, fellow Irishman. That wasn't on our bingo card for yesterday. So thank you, Brian, for that follow. Appreciate it. NL9228 said, hey Craig, let's be honest, there's not the same buzz about this game from other seasons. Nobody in my house is watching the game, we always did. It's definitely not got the same buzz today, but maybe that's just because of the mindset we're in as Liverpool fans at the minute. You know, it's been a pretty frustrating season overall. So, you know, let's wait and see. But yeah, I get it. I do get it. But still, to me, like all week I was kind of saying to myself, oh, it's just not the same, is it? It's not the same. But then I woke up today, and as soon as I woke up, I knew I was hyped because it's Liverpool United, you know. Whatever way you weigh it up, or whatever era it's in, it's still biggest game of the season for me. How could he justify playing 5 central midfielders? I think injuries is the only word. Look, I'm not trying to make excuses for the gaffer, but that's all I can think of is injuries. So yeah, look, ladies and gentlemen, really quickly, we are being brought to you today with thanks to our incredible friends at Huel. So I'll be back in 63 seconds time and we'll talk then. But until then, a little word from our sponsors today. This video is sponsored by Huel, and if you haven't heard of Huel, you're missing out. Huel is fast, nutritious, complete fuel for busy people. It's designed to give you everything you'd get from a proper meal. Protein, carbs, fats, plus all your essential vitamins and minerals. You can grab a ready-to-drink bottle in lots of great flavours like chocolate, banana, or my personal favourite, berry. Or if you prefer, you can use the Huel shaker. Just add 2 scoops of their Black Edition powder, Give it a shake and you're good to go. It's quick, it tastes great, and you're getting 40 grams of protein, 10 grams of fiber, carbs, and 26 essential vitamins and minerals. If you're looking for a clean energy boost, this is where Huel Daily A to Z comes in. It's a sparkling multivitamin drink packed with 26 essential vitamins and minerals, plus natural caffeine to give you that lift when you need it most. You're talking just 30 calories per can, low sugar, and still getting electrolytes and 100% of your daily B12 to help fight fatigue. So if you want to give it a try, you can get £10 off any order over £60 by using the code AA10 at checkout. Hit the link in the description or use the QR code on screen and let me know what flavours you go for. Right, my friends, we are back, and thank you so much for your support and your patience with that. And of course, thank you to our sponsors, Huel. I was reading the comments while I was sitting here letting the video play, and one actually made me spit out loud. I was drinking my coffee and I actually spit out loud onto my tabletop. Somebody said, no broccoli flavour? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine me on here doing a broccoli flavour ad read? Nobody be taking me seriously, but you should be taking Huel seriously. And I've tasted most of the flavours. I tell you what, some of them aren't bad at all, really aren't. Right, Shano said, we're winning 2-0, Craig, mate. Sorry, United. I don't know what way it goes, Shano, but, you know, I'm not feeling cocky today, let's put it that way. Dean Ryan said, hey, Craig, got a good bet on 3-1 win. Nice. I have nothing on this personally, absolutely nothing. Yeah, emotionally invested in it, but not financially invested in it. That's where I'm at today. Right, let's give you some words from Arna pre-match. He said this on Isak. After our last win against Palace, you go into the week and start, you already know you're going to miss out on Mo Salah. And then during the week, we miss out on Alex as well. But that's not the first time this season. Arsenal away, we had both of our number 9s not available as well. And we were able to play a good game. So it's the situation, so accept it. Of course, very unlucky and unhappy with the fact that Alex picked up a really small injury. That's why this game came a bit too early. It's, look, it is going to stir up conversations. Whichever way we want to talk about this, it is going to bring up conversations around the amount of money Liverpool paid. Now, look, putting my sensible hat on for a minute, I got to say that it isn't at all unusual for a player coming back from a long time out to come and pick up a few little niggly injuries. It isn't unusual at all. But it still doesn't take away from our frustration as fans, right? Especially at the moment where we've got no Hugo Ekitike, that he's out because of a torn Achilles for months and months and months. So it doesn't make it any better, but it's not unusual. It does pose a question, though, about the recruitment last summer and quite how sensible £125 million was for Isak. And I know this might seem reactionary, but you've even got Jamie Carragher a few weeks ago saying that it's unusual or not common for a player that really doesn't hit the ground running in their first season to all of a sudden then come back in season 2 and tear it up. He couldn't remember too many examples of that happening. But I don't know how to feel about it. That's the honest answer. I don't know how to feel about it. I just feel frustrated. Not at Alex. It's not a personal thing. I'm just, frustrated that on days like today, at the business end of the season, we can't turn to a strong bench, a strong team. It's just, it really does leave a sour taste in the mouth after last summer's recruitment. Shout out to my Man United friend Rob for sending me to this channel. He loves you. Well, thank you, Rob, and thank you, Callum, as well. Appreciate you both, mate. Welcome in. Appreciate. Look, United fans have been decent to me over the years, as I said. We have a bit of fun, a bit of banter, but I think ultimately respect all around anyway. But yeah, appreciate it, and thank you to your mate, Rob. Exposure said 125 million for an injury-prone striker who's never won a golden boot. Last summer just felt a bit odd in that sense. Like, it's weird because we knew we needed 2 strikers after the tragic events with Diogo and his brother's passing. But to go and bring in Hugo and what was 70-something million quid, and then spend 125 million quid for Isak, it definitely felt a bit luxurious. Is that the right word? Like, it felt almost over the top. And we were asking, after we signed Ekitike, are we really going to push on for Isak? But you just get the feeling that that was the guy they wanted, come what may. You know, they really, really wanted to get Isak in, and I guess they have a very strong belief that he's going to come good, and I'm not saying he won't, but, you know, what if we carry this into next season? What if these same niggles keep popping up? It's, you know, it's only going to lead to more scrutiny over the recruitment. Ali said, what's your thoughts on the starting 11? I would have put Rio in, but apart from that, you know, what can I say? It's pretty much as I expected. Jones at right back, no surprise there. Frimpong on the right side of attack. Let's see how he gets on. But personally, I would have played Rio on the right side, Wirtz on the left, and Gakpo through the middle. You know, no Alisson again is unfortunate because we've been told for a few weeks that this was the game Alisson was hoping to be back for and aiming to be back for. So, you know, look, let me say it this way. If Alisson is going to leave, and I don't know if he is or isn't, but let's say we know he's going to leave and Georgie comes back, I'm playing Georgie for the rest of the season if I'm Slot, because, you know, you got to look to the future. Now, if Alisson's staying, no problem. Ali comes back in, plays away. But if we know he's leaving, personally, if Georgie's fit for the next games after this, I'd be playing him for the remainder of the season. Lewis said, hey Craig, how are you today? Score prediction. I went 2-2 in my preview, but honestly, I don't know. This could be anything today. You know, if one side show up and the other doesn't, it could be a mauling on either side. I don't really have any courage of my convictions on the price today, or the price on the score today. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with my 2-2, but that feels rather optimistic at the moment. To be honest, if I'm Liverpool next season, I'm signing a very versatile player who can play across the front line. We can't depend on Isak. So what you're saying, Triller X, is Jared Bowen. That's what I heard there, bro, when you started saying that, because they're all the attributes that I would put on Jared Bowen, being able to play either side and through the middle if needs be. But I tell you what, I was watching Jan Diamonde yesterday playing against Leverkusen, and Leverkusen absolutely wiped the floor with them. But Diamonde played one half on each side, which was interesting. First half, he played the right side of attack, Nusa on the left. Second half, he was on the left side of the attack. So that versatility was certainly something that impressed me when I was looking at that game yesterday. Get Lua for a season or two. I don't know if you'd seen my video a few weeks ago, the hopeful guy, but I did put that shout out there. It is a mad one, and it is very unlike Liverpool, but it could be genius. You know, Lewandowski's going to leave this summer, Barcelona. Now, I don't know if Liverpool will get to a number that would make sense for everybody, but I wouldn't be against that for next season. Lewandowski on a 1-year deal, I wouldn't be against it. You know, especially with the situation that we have. I think it would be incredible. And it wouldn't be a deal that would block Will Wright's progression or that would block Jaden Dan's. It would give us a bit more time to develop them. And look, I know it's not going to happen, but I'd take it. I don't know about everybody else, but I'd definitely fucking take it. Get some good stuff. So I watched that game a bit, but he didn't seem to get the ball a lot, at least on the right wing. Yeah, he wasn't. He was a bit more involved in the second half, but to be honest, that game yesterday was just all Leverkusen. They absolutely smothered Leipzig and didn't really let them into the game at all. I thought Schick was quite impressive, actually, up front for Leverkusen. Bowen is too old at 29. Is he, though? Like, think about it this way, and I get where you're coming from, of course I do, but we need that mixture because we're losing a lot of experience as well throughout the team, and we need ready-made players and, of course, young players that can come through. So I think Jared Bowen on a 3-year deal would be good business, and you know, he doesn't look like he's hanging on at 29. Like, he still looks really fresh. So for me, a 3-year deal for somebody like Bowen, allowing for the fact, you know, he can cover to the centre at an absolute push if needed be, I wouldn't be against it. But I don't know if I'm somewhat biased on this because I'm a Bowen fan and I have been for years. Even when Kloppo was here, I was saying Jared Bowen to me would be ideal to come in on the right-hand side. Kazel said, availability always trumps talent. Yeah. Oh, I've got a new little phrase that I seen somewhere the other day that I want to work in. And I don't want to be an arsehole about this and pretend it's mine. It isn't mine, but I'm going to start using it a little bit. Now, this is where I say, parents, if you've got youngsters with you, earmuffs. I'm about to say something that might be a little bit too crass for younger listeners, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad, but just a warning on it. Just a warning on it. So the phrase that I seen yesterday was about the consequences of actions and what happens. And the phrase was, the dildo of consequences rarely comes lubed. And I just thought to myself, I'll have a bit of that, you know? I'll have a bit of that. Not literally have a bit of that, but I'll have a bit of that. That sounds like something that I need to add into my vocabulary. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, the dildo of consequences rarely comes lubed. There you go. Whoop whoop. I did give you warning now. You can't give out to me. I did give you warning on that one. Frimpong bought as a fullback, played mostly as a winger. But they're trying to, Hamoudi mate, they're trying to even rewrite that history. I promise you they are. They're already talking about he wasn't brought in as a right back. I'm not making this up, mate, honestly. I always said that was the signing for me of all the ones last summer that I was most confused about. And not because he isn't a good player. He is a good player. But I was confused about it for the very reason we're talking about now. Where are we going to play him? Is he a right back? No, not really. Is he a winger? Not really. He's in the middle, isn't he? He's a wing back. So let's wait and see what happens. I've seen a bit of a mixed bag with Frimpong on the right-hand side. I remember he played away against Galatasaray on the right and was awful. But then he's had other games on the right where he's looked much better. What we do know about Frimpong is he's explosive enough that he can go past a man over a short distance. He can get that extra yard of pace. So if he can make that count today, maybe we have a positive day. But still, yeah, I don't know. Curtis Jones, 150 Premier League appearances up for Liverpool today for Curtis Jones, and congratulations on that, Curtis. Ladies and gents, I need a little favour from you. As you can see, we're at 379,016 subscribers. If you are new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button for me, and don't forget to drop a like on the stream. We need to get to 1,000 likes before kick-off, and we've got 40 minutes to go. Craig just wants Danny Dyer at Anfield. You see, I really do, but I got to make this crystal clear. It's Danny Dyer that I want to have a chat with. His daughter seems like a lovely girl. Absolutely lovely. But I'm a Danny Dyer fanboy from way back. All the way back from Human Traffic. All the way back to Is Harry on the Boat? Like, I'm talking way, way back. So yes, I'm not even going to hide away from that, mate. 100%. If Bowen came to Liverpool, Danny Dyer might as well block me on every social media because I'm going to be asking for that chat, Danny. I'm going to be asking. Two working class heroes. I mean, it's what the people want. Craig and Danny Dyer. Come on now. Imagine me sitting down with Danny Dyer for an old cup of coffee and a chat. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? Paro said Senesi is a bargain, Craigo. Could do with him now. Well, I have been encouraged by those links. Really have. You know, there was stuff saying he was more likely to go to Spurs a few weeks ago. Then over the last couple of days, been a bit more encouraging from the Liverpool side. But let's wait and see. It will be a good free signing for whoever gets him. Look, I know we say free signings and they're not really free signings. You get what I mean? What's this one? Soboslai said, we'll try to keep the ball as much as we can. Well, that's brilliant. That's great. So let's get in some practice for that. Dom said we'll try and keep the ball as much as we can. So everybody, sit down. You sitting up straight? Work with me. We're going to practice for the game today. We're keeping the ball. So here we go. You ready? That's how we practice. Get the neck muscles in for side, side, back, side, side, back, side, side, back, side, side, back, long diagonal. So don't want you straining the neck or anything later on. So it's important we do these warm-ups together before the game. Because that's what he means, really. Let's be honest. It's not going to be bang, 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 bang. It's going to be like Pong. You know that old game? As you can see, I'm in a jovial mood today, which I think is my way of covering up anxiety and frustration. And yeah, this week, all I've had in me is sarcasm, but I've had some fun on the pre-recorded videos. You know, there's nothing I like more than having a conversation with myself. It always makes me feel like me. Anyway. James said, FFS Craig, I'm knackered after that warm-up. Don't worry, mate. I've got me inhaler here for both of us if we need to take it. It's important we do these stretches, you know. We don't want to go into this game without being warmed up. Long day today, Craig. God help us. I know, mate. I know. But look, you never know. You never know. Maybe we're sitting here at 5:30 happy. Maybe. You never know. Stranger things have happened. Let's look at the United team again in a bit more depth and see where we need to worry about. So, for me today, here's what I'm worried about. All of it. No, in all seriousness, Cunha, Mbeumo, Fernandes, that three in particular, are going to be a pain in the arse for us today. Bruno Fernandes on for a Premier League assist record season, and Cunha being back in is no doubt a boost to Manchester United. So I'm worried about that. I hope physically our centre-backs can cope with Benjamin Sesko. I hope that they'd be able to do that. And it'll be interesting to see as well, especially from set pieces. Casemiro is pretty damn good from set pieces, getting on the end of cross and stuff. So we need to be making sure that we're getting some right players marking the right players. I don't want to see any mismatches today. Don't want to see Frimpong marking Harry Maguire as an example. I want to make sure that, you know, we go strong in set pieces, because some of the mismatches we've pointed out over the years have been crazy. Dylan said, Cunha brace incoming. Glory, glory, Man United. I don't know what to expect from our end, mate, but I hope we're not seeing a Cunha brace, obviously. We need to make United players and fans frustrated, said Hamoudi. Yes, we do. We need to show up with the right attitude. The right attitude on days like today can go a long way. And we also need to not capitulate if we concede early. You know, we need to make sure that we have belief. And if United score first, okay, fair enough. Don't capitulate. Just shut it down for a few minutes. Try to take the sting out of it and go again. Control the game a little bit better. They're going to be up for it. They're going to want to start fast. Obviously, the fans are going to be up for it. A win today for United pretty much all but guarantees Champions League football for them next season. And a win for us, if we were to get it, would mean that the race for top 3 is very much still on. So let's wait and see how it all pans out. But I'm not sitting here with uber confidence at the minute. Craig, I've been watching all the vids as I do, and you seem to be really up for the Wharton move. I don't think he's the DM profile we need. Thoughts? I wouldn't say I'm really up for it. I can only just say there's a lot of talk about it. You know, I like Matheus Fernandes. I like Wharton, don't get me wrong, but Matheus Fernandes will be the one I'd like to see us move for. I think we need to bring in more than one. If we brought in 2 deep line midfielders, I'd be happy with that. But I guess that might depend on who leaves. So we don't know what's going on with Curtis. We don't know what's going on with Maka. We don't know what's going on with Endo. If 2 of those guys were to leave, I'd like to see us bring 2 in. But yeah, all I can say is Wharton just seems very possible for us. Don't know if there is much interest in the kid from West Ham, Fernandes, but I wouldn't say no. I think he's a wonderful player. I was reading a piece from Jan Mulby with our friends at Anfield Index, and he was saying he thinks he's the complete player, and I've been very impressed with him this season. Mo Salah said I like Alex Scott. Well, also, if Spurs go down, certainly worth taking a little look at Archie Gray as well. How did Isak get injured again? All we know is he has a slight groin strain that he felt, you know, after the last game. That's all we know. That's what Arna said earlier on. So yeah, obviously picked it up or something during the game, made him feel a little bit uncomfortable. He said it's a very, very slight one, you know. But, you know, James Pearce said Liverpool didn't want to take any chances. I don't know. On a game like today, you know, I'd say if you're ever going to take a chance, it's with 3 games to go and away at Old Trafford. It feels like you try to get him through this game if you can take a painkilling injection or whatever. But I guess Liverpool are taking the holistic long-term approach with the World Cup as well. Joey said, Keenan Yildiz is a really good show. I'd like him and Bazumana Torre. So I've never really seen much on Yildiz being linked to us. Bazumana Torre certainly have, but I couldn't tell you how strong that interest is. I just don't know. Man, I'm scared and I just hope we win. Yes, a win would bang. Love and blessings. Thank you. Yeah, a win today would be lovely. It would. You know, I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like it's got score draw written all over it. Maybe even that's me being optimistic. I don't know. Hamoudi said we need to press high today. Klopp football. Yeah, I don't know what to expect. You're right. Look, I want to see us out there, up in their faces, high energy, high press, lots of aggression. But let's wait and see. You know, there's one thing I'm fairly certain of today, is that United are going to start fast. The first 10 minutes is going to be 100 miles an hour. I'm absolutely certain of that. So we need to make sure that we're ready for it. Craig, do you know any news regarding Stefan? Nope. I mean, it's been what? It's been over 2 years since he last played in the first team for Liverpool. So yeah, feels like a long time. So Kieran Morrison and the Liverpool first team bench against Manchester United, the club who released him at under 14 level post Lewis Bower. So thank you for that one, Lewis. Who's on the bench? What are our subs? No problem, dude. Give me 2 seconds. So Liverpool bench today is Pechi, Gomez, Kirkes, Chiesa, Nioni, Morrison, Rio, Ndai, and Will Wright. That's the Liverpool bench for today. Why can't you understand Slot will be a success? So, why can't you explain why he'll be a success? How about we go with that one? Because I've spent hours explaining my side of this, Daniel. And rather than being a smart arse, you could just explain why you think he will be a success. And then we can have the conversation. But let's wait and see. One of us will be right. And in that situation, it's usually me. But let's see. I saw something that Stefan was back training at least after his latest operation. Yeah, there's been a few images of him in and around the AXA. But I just wouldn't want to tell anybody when to expect him, because I don't know the answer to it. That's the honest answer. I don't know. Look, I like Stefan Bajeic, and it's been very disappointing to see the huge impact he had in that first season when he came in and, you know, kind of helped us out a lot in midfield. But unfortunately, after that, it's all gone a little bit P-tongue. He's had injury after injury. Loan spells have been a bit of a mixed bag. So, yeah, let's wait and see. But I don't know if we'll see him back again. Would you rather have Nunez or Trent back? Trent, definitely. I don't want either of them, by the way. But in that scenario, Trent. Tiger Valley, how are you? Said, afternoon, guys. Will unfortunately have to miss this game. Try and catch the second half, but enjoy it and good luck to the team. Thank you. And whatever you're doing, I hope you have a good day. Wonder what happened to Gakpo's hand. There's about 18 jokes immediately popped into my head there, Leona, that I'm not going to say. But let's go with, I don't know, mate. I don't know. Nunez any day of the week. I think you're all forgetting how frustrating Nunez was. There's been some mad redemption arc for Nunez this season that I don't understand. Like, remember, Nunez can't get into the Al Hilal matchday squad. And we're trying to talk about him at Liverpool again. Look, he worked hard, but let's not forget, if you thought we were missing chances this season, you know what I mean? Let's not rewrite history here. There's a reason we cashed in on Nunez, and it's because he couldn't hit a barn door with a banjo. And that isn't going to change, and it hasn't changed, and he hasn't gone away and proved us wrong, has he? He's gone over and been pushed out of the first team squad for the league games. At least he's not even in the squad. I think he's only in the Champions League squad for Al Hilal. And yeah, can I say I like these screen ads because they don't bugger up the chat? Thank you, Marty. Yeah, look, it's very rare that we will put an ad into a watch along that isn't just me doing an ad read, but you know, we're partnering up with Huel for a couple of big games this season. We did the Merseyside Derby with them, and we're doing today, and I think this makes the most sense to us to do it this way. Nunez was loyal. Was he? Fucking hell, I think we're really whitewashing this history here of Darwin Nunez. I remember him not clapping away fans and us all being frustrated with him, but if we want to make out like he was loyal and everything was great, cool. No problem. Just I have a different memory of it. What he was a handful. That's one thing I don't think any of us could debate. And he was a nuisance to defenders. And when he was on it, he worked his ass off. And he was a handful. But, you know, let's not forget it was the finishing. It was the finishing that really, really frustrated us. What happened to the Klopp kids of the Carabao Cup? I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing about Arne, and in all the conversations we've had and all the conjecture and the back and forth, I really feel from the bottom of my heart that he's no interest in bringing on young players. You know, I don't. I've no belief that he wants to bring on young players at all. Even if you go back to last summer, there was some arguments, or at least there was some rumoured arguments, that the club, i.e. Hughes and Edwards, wanted to bring through some more players, and Arne wanted ready-made players like Bradley Barcola at the time, who were ready to come straight in. I think there was a debate over that and the Rio situation, and a couple of others. So that's one thing that I think fairly, I would say, I've been a little bit disappointed with slotting. There's other stuff that we can talk about, but certainly bringing through and giving opportunities to some of these younger players. I think, like I said at the start of the watch along, if this was United, I would almost guarantee you Rio would be playing in this situation if it was Manchester United. But for some reason, we get the game's too big for him kind of vibe from Arne, even though, you know, he comes off the bench and has big impacts up at Newcastle in a really hostile atmosphere. So, yeah, kids haven't really had much of a chance. I just think you're too harsh on Slot. He's not God. I never said he was God. And I don't think I am too harsh on him, mate. You know, and thank you, Daniel. I do genuinely appreciate you coming back in, mate, and in saying it, but you still haven't respectfully said anything other than trust me, bro. My argument, Daniel, is based off an entire season of a lack of evolution and a lack of understanding of what he's trying to ask the players to do. A lack of cohesion on the pitch and the mentality of the team falling apart. For me, mate, that coupled with the fact that he's dicking around with systems in the biggest games of the season, it's just red flags. So I have 100 reasons, Daniel, why I think he's not going to be a success. But all anybody who wants him to support him is just trust them. That's it. There's nothing. You haven't been able to say to me, Craig, in this game, you can clearly see this, or over the course of the last 10 games, this has changed and this has happened. Do you get where I'm coming from, mate? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick about it. And I want Arne to succeed. You know, and I said it many times, Daniel, if Arne proves me wrong, I'll be extremely happy about that. Because Liverpool being successful is more important to me than any of my own feelings. I want to see Liverpool winning stuff. I want to see Liverpool challenging. And to be wrong about the manager, it wouldn't cause me a second sleep. I'd be more than happy to be wrong. Because if I'm wrong, we all win. You know? And I'm happy to eat humble pie and many other types of pie. But, you know, I honestly just don't think he's going to turn it around. That is my heartfelt, honest belief. Paro said, if I'm Slot, I just asked Dom to man mark Bruno, take him out of the game, and we're basically favourites. Dom has the stamina for it. Come on, you fucking Reds. Yeah, look, Fernandes, Bruno is going to have a big influence over this game, as you would expect as well, him being United captain. So yes, if we can keep him quiet, we certainly will go a long way today. But then again, you keep him quiet, you still have Cunha and Bomo. So yeah, let's see what happens. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you, Robbo. And do you remember, as this gentleman here says, James Loyal, didn't he delete all things about Liverpool in his bio after having a grump? He did. This is what I'm saying, James. There's been so much revisionism to that whole era. It's mental. You're absolutely right. He did go on a strop, delete Liverpool from all of his bio. But again, I get it. Like, I do understand it, because when you look back, you know, we always look back on things in life more fondly than maybe we did at the time. It's a human trait. Is there a scoreline that gets Slot the sack? Maybe. I don't know. Like, if we were to lose the game 4-0, would that move the dial? Honestly, I don't know, Tony. It's, sincerely, I hope we don't find out, because I don't want us to be getting a whooping. But you'd have to imagine if it was a mauling, which again I don't expect, but if it was a real mauling, it certainly would aggravate the fan base a lot, you know. So if it was 4-0, I don't know if that would move the dial or not. We'd find out soon enough. I think Nunez got it worse than Gakpo this season and just took down most of his posts. But he should have got it worse than Gakpo this season. I don't understand. Like, Cody Gakpo is being punished because he isn't Diaz. And yes, he hasn't had the best of seasons, but he hasn't fallen off a cliff to the extent that some people are making out either. I think he's just suffered from the fact that we're expecting our wide players to do things that Gakpo never did, but Diaz did do, or could do, and that Rio can do, but has never been part of Gakpo's game. And I think the fact that we didn't get anybody else for the left-hand side has caused him more headaches this season and caused fans to be more frustrated, and that's kind of borne out with him getting grief. I think sometimes deservedly, sometimes I think unfairly. 2 years ago, you said Nunez over Isak. What about now? Is there a third option? Can I have a third option? Let me just put it to you this way, Suna. There's a lot I loved about Darwin Nunez as a footballer. And if he could have increased his finishing by 20%, I'd still stand over him over Isak. I would. Because he's a better all-round player. He works harder. He was more suited to the way that we played and what we needed. And I still don't really know in our team how we're going to get the most out of Isak. So as mad as it sounded at the time, it was a genuine, honest assessment, because he has the whole package. He's just unable to put it all together. You know, honestly, Darwin Nunez, if his finishing was a bit better, could be one of the best 5 strikers in the world. So I don't think it's as outlandish a show, because I still have concerns over Isak. And if you go back to last summer, when we were talking about dream scenarios, I was always saying that if it was me, I want Julian Alvarez. And I knew it wasn't possible, because Julian Alvarez didn't want to come back to the Prem. So it kind of felt like Isak was the one the club were going down the avenue for. But honestly, at this moment in time, I don't think there's much bragging on either side of that debate. Robbo, Craig, just 2 things. Wanted to shout out to you for all the super commentary during the season. Thank you. Secondly, this horrendous form has been going on for over 14 months now. That's forgotten. Well, firstly, on the first part, Robbo, my man, thank you. On the second part, you're damn right. It has. It's been going on. And again, this gets me in grief all the time, Robbo. We won the league last year and I was still moaning at the end of the season. And people are just calling me a cantankerous clown and moaning for the sake of it. But I seen the same warning signs you seen. I seen the same things you seen. Standards falling through the floor. A League Cup final defeat to Newcastle where we were second best all over the park. And I mentioned at the time, and I'll say it again now, that if you flick off that intensity switch and drop those standards, it's very difficult to get it back. And we've never been able to get it back since. So I agree with you on every point. I do. It was their last season. They chose to ignore it. Understandably, fans got caught up in the title win, which is absolutely understandable. It was an amazing occasion. But the warning signs were there, like you said. And this is what gets me so frustrated with Hughes and Edwards. They're supposed to be data-led people. And I've been saying this all year. What are they seeing in the numbers that is showing that this is going to work out? Because the eye test is certainly not being passed. Diaz played more games as a striker than left wing last year. Again, are you trying to... Is this to do with my point about Gakpo or Diaz? Either way, Diaz wasn't just here last year. And I think that... Look, that's just my take, and I've been consistent on that take with Gakpo all season. I'm definitely not sitting here saying Cody Gakpo's had a great season. But I'm being honest when I say I think some of the grief he gets is for stuff that was never really in his skill set. It's like when I was talking about Georgie Mamardashvili a few weeks ago, and people were writing about his distribution not being great, and James Pearce was writing a piece on it. And I said, surely you never expected his distribution to be great. Like anybody who looked at Georgie Mamardashvili and went through his strengths, size, commanding of his area, shot stopper, you wouldn't be looking at distribution as in the plus column. So to suddenly expect him to have something that he never had, I always just found it a bit weird. Because when we signed Georgie, and I know I'm going off topic here because it's not about Gakpo and Diaz. When we signed Georgie, I thought, okay, maybe this is part of the cyclical nature of football. We've seen City with Donnarumma. Maybe a different brand of goalkeepers coming back into vogue, and that was why. Yeah. I really want to see us give everything today. So do I, Hamoudi. You know, as football fans, effort. If you see your team put in 100% effort, you can lose games of football. It happens. But effort is minimum. And if you give that, yes, I think fans are a bit more understanding if the result isn't as you would hope for, as long as you see the effort in there. Any thoughts on Kirkes not playing? Love Robbo, but he's leaving, and I feel we're starting to see a good Kirkes. I think it's just because he didn't train all week. That's my guess, mate. He had a niggle, and he only went back training, I think, maybe yesterday or the day before. So I that's all I can think of for that. It was that he didn't train, and maybe they'd worked on things, and they had to work on them with Robbo through the week as training progressed. That's the only thing I can think of. But even saying that, last few games he has tended to go with Andy Robertson on the left-hand side. Craig, can you please tell me how you became positive with this game? I need some of that positivity. I feel as flat as a pancake. I don't feel positive. I just feel hyped because it's United Liverpool. I don't know what way it's going to go, Paddy Wacker. I'm not sitting here with an air of confidence about me. I'm nervous, but it's a huge game in the season. It's the first one I look out for when the fixtures come out. I look out for the United game, then the Everton game. So and I've been around long enough that I've seen dominant United teams beaten by poorer Liverpool teams, dominant Liverpool teams beaten by poorer United teams. So sometimes this fixture can throw up a result that is not really going with the form of either team. And, maybe I'm deluding myself here. I probably am, but I'm just trying to keep an open mind about how this one could go today. But trust me, if we're 15 minutes in and we're being battered and it's not well, you'll see the other side quite quickly. It's just very difficult to get angry about something that hasn't happened yet. And, I can't be a hypocrite and come on here most weeks and tell people not to be negative about the team. We haven't kicked off yet, and to then do it myself. Team selection is almost what I would have gone with. I would have put Rio on, but apart from that, with the injuries we have, you know, what else can I really say here at the minute other than let's wait and see how it all pans out? Do you think Man City is going to win the domestic quad? Well, firstly, not trying to be a dick, but I don't. There is no domestic quad. The Carabao or the Charity Shield means nothing to anybody other than, of course, the good causes that the money's raised for. But do I think they win the domestic treble? I still think they beat Arsenal to the league title. Yes. You know, let's say they beat Everton tomorrow. Then I think that's a nice tricky game out of the way, and they know what they have to do score wise now. There's a goal difference of 4 they have to make up over the 2 games. If anybody blinks, the other one wins. I don't think if there's 1 point dropped, I think that's it. Game over. Well, it would have to be 2 points dropped, wouldn't it? But right now, I would still say Manchester City, but it's 51-49 at that point. Bobby said, thanks for all the great memories and time, Salah. Absolutely. I'm so relieved that we're going to get to see Mo at least one more time in a Liverpool shirt. Maybe more, but we know he's going to be back, and that's great because you want his legacy and his time at the club to end the right way. Interestingly, though, do you reckon there's going to be a Henderson moment against Brentford at the end of the game? Because remember, he never got a goodbye or anything because of the way it all worked out. And I wonder if it's just going to be a bit of a Hendo moment as well on that final day of the season. Aaron said, reckon Rio gets minutes today. I'd be very annoyed if he doesn't. It would make no sense to me if he doesn't get minutes. Petter said, how long is Isak out for? Don't know. A little minor niggle. I mean, 1 to 2 weeks was the report, but I really don't know, mate. Russ said, I've never felt so indifferent over playing the Manx. I'm still hyped for it. It's still Liverpool United, but it kind of makes me feel like I felt back in the day when United were winning league titles and we were a bit inconsistent. I'm kind of back to feeling like I felt around those days where you're hoping for a big performance rather than expecting it. Unfortunately, Arne is simply a conservative Dutchman, not a free-spirited German. Look, I don't have time for conservative managers. I just don't. So, Ian Doyle said this, if it means anything, I don't know. The Liverpool finishing in the warm-up has been not very good. Let's hope it got them all out of their system for the actual game. That's not a great sign. Ian Doyle in his Arsenal jacket tweeting about Liverpool finishing in the warm-up not being good. That's definitely not going to lift the spirits. Paro said Rio would turn Dalot inside out. Should have started. I agree. I would have started him on the right-hand side today. But again, Arne clearly doesn't feel he's ready for big games. Rightly or wrongly, I think that's something we have to admit this season. Right, ladies and gentlemen. Last time, before the game gets underway, but I got to just quickly give you a word from our sponsors, Huel. I really do thank you for your support and understanding, and we'll see you back here in 63 seconds where we'll be straight into match talk then. Appreciate you. This video is sponsored by Huel, and if you haven't heard of Huel, you're missing out. Huel is fast, nutritious, complete fuel for busy people. It's designed to give you everything you'd get from a proper meal. Protein, carbs, fats, plus all your essential vitamins and minerals. You can grab a ready-to-drink bottle in lots of great flavours like chocolate, banana, or my personal favourite, berry. Or if you prefer, you can use the Huel shaker. Just add 2 scoops of their Black Edition powder, Give it a shake and you're good to go. It's quick, it tastes great, and you're getting 40 grams of protein, 10 grams of fibre, carbs, and 26 essential vitamins and minerals. If you're looking for a clean energy boost, this is where Huel Daily A to Z comes in. It's a sparkling multivitamin drink packed with 26 essential vitamins and minerals, plus natural caffeine to give you that lift when you need it most. You're talking just 30 calories per can, low sugar, and still getting electrolytes and 100% of your daily B12 to help fight fatigue. So if you want to give it a try, you can get £10 off any order over £60 by using the code AA10 at checkout. Hit the link in the description or use the QR code on screen and let me know what flavours you go for. Right, my friends, we are back, and thank you to our sponsors, Huel. Right, Big Chili 2 said should hopefully be a good game. Bud game? That'd be a great game, a Bud game. Should hopefully be a good game. Rivalry. Yes, there's always a huge rivalry in this one, and certainly bragging rights are going to be important. So let's wait and see what happens. Retro Wes said not looking forward to this one in the slightest. You never know, Wes. Maybe we get a positive ending to the day, bro. I don't know. What have we got this on? I'm on the wrong channel for a start, so let me just get the right channel on for the game. Cool, there we go. Now we should be good. Isak injury reason is a mystery to me, said Suleiman. It seems it's not unusual, mate, for people to come back from a long injury, and when they're working back or starting to play back and the intensity's up, start to feel niggles. And I think that's what this is another niggle. Still frustrating, but I think that's all it is a niggle. Oh, by the way, I've got to announce the winner of our giveaway for April, where we gave away a signed Charles Oliveira UFC glove. And the winner of that is Ross Hughes. Ross knows. Ross is being contacted by Connor. So well done to Ross. Congratulations, mate, on winning that one. And that framed Charles Oliveira UFC glove will be making its way to Ross. Don't forget, though, we do have a competition running this month as well. We'll let you know about that in the Late Night Agenda tonight. This month, we're giving away a signed Robbie Fowler shirt, and you can pick from 3 different jerseys that have signed by Robbie. That'll be framed up with our friends at the Collector's Corner and shipped out to the winner as well. And we're going to do one competition for a signed item every month throughout 2026, with thanks to our friends at the Collector's Corner. Right. A man with no name said, a Salah, Hendo, Robbo and Kelleher moment last game. Probably. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Now the teams are in the tunnel, ladies and gentlemen, at Old Trafford. It's nearly time. Liverpool, Manchester United. Let me just check. I've got my clock good to go. Yeah, we're all good to go. Right, teams are in the tunnel at Old Trafford. It is one of the biggest games of the season. Manchester United, Liverpool at Old Trafford. Let me run you through both 11s before the game gets underway. We will start off with the Liverpool team. 1 second. Liverpool team today is Freddie Woodman in goal. At right back, Curtis Jones. Left back, Andy Robertson. Your centre backs for today are Ibrahim Konate and your captain, Virgil van Dijk. A midfield of Alexis McAllister, Ryan Gravenberch and Dominic Szoboszlai. Wirtz on the left. Frimpong on the right, and through the middle, Cody Gakpo. The Manchester United starting 11, Lamons in goal, a back 4 of Dalot, Maguire, Heaven and Shaw. In midfield, it's Casemiro, Mainu and Fernandes, and then it's Brian Mbomo, Mateus Cunha and Benjamin Šeško. The benches for both sides for Liverpool, Joe Gomez, Milos Kerkez, Federico Chiesa, Armin Petchy, Trey Morris-Nyoni, Kieran Morrison, Rio Ngamoa, and El Hadj, Moore, Tala and Dye, and Will Wright. For Manchester United, Altay Bayindir, Nuzair Mazraoui, Mason Mount, Joshua Zirkzee, Tyler Malacia, Patrick Dorgu, Lenny Yoro, Amad Diallo, and Manuel Ugarte. They are the substitutes for Manchester United. So, this is where I always say, sit back, relax, and let me do my best to take you through the game. But let's be honest, there's not going to be much relaxing today, is there? Frank, how are we, dudes? It's after midnight here, no work in the morning. We love that, Frank. We love that. And 54 months with us as a member as well, my man. Thank you. Right. Fingers crossed, folks. Fingers crossed. It is the big one. Manchester United, Liverpool. 3rd place at stake. Champions League football. Let's hope for a positive result. As I said, do get your thoughts into the comments, your score predictions, stuff like that. I'm going to stick with my 2-2 draw, but, that might be me being optimistic. Tony, so come on, Liverpool. Rio should start, not Gakpo. Well, Gakpo's through the centre, so I think understandably on that one. But I get what you mean. I would have put Rio in a wide position myself, but I guess I've no problem with Gakpo starting central in this situation because, it makes sense. He's played there before. We don't have another centre forward outside of young Will Wright. Brian King said, watch Sesko score in this Northwest derby. Well, I hope he doesn't. Obviously, I hope he doesn't. I'd like to see Liverpool get some revenge for the game. Like I said, I was at the game at Anfield. It was a bucket list game for me to go to. And no sooner had the game started, 63 seconds later, we were 1-0 down. And I'm thinking, oh, here we go. It's going to be one of them evenings. So, we're nearly there. We're nearly there, ladies and gentlemen. Not too long to go this season. Three big games. Well, 4 big games for us to go. United, Chelsea, Villa, Brentford. Let's hope for some positive results. Brian, how are we, bro? Always a pleasure. I hope everybody is well in the AA community. I'm reluctantly watching, knowing we're stuck with this spoofer of a manager. Yep, and it looks like Brian has obviously those Isak rumours were correct. He is unavailable today, and love to yourself and the family, Brian, as always, sir. Thank you. Oh, lads, the butterflies really are. They're not just kicking in, they're absolutely whooping me at the minute. I feel very nervous about this one. So, if I can ask you before we get on the way, really quickly, if you haven't, do hit that subscribe button. Welcome here to the channel. My name's Craig. If you're new to the channel, you're very welcome along. Also, don't forget to drop a like on the stream if you can. Today, we've got lots of content coming up for you. We've got the game, obviously. We'll have our match reaction, player ratings videos, where you get to submit your player ratings as well. If you'd like to do that, make sure you join the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp. And then we'll be back tonight with a late night agenda as well. For old time's sake, can Florian look at the shirt number? Jacob said 63 seconds, the same as your Huel advert. You need a bit longer. I think 63 seconds is more than long enough. And I do appreciate everybody's support on these type of things as well, It's things like that that's able to allow us to keep all of our content free and stuff. And we do appreciate your support on it. Right, ladies and gents, Liverpool are going to be kicking off. We're in our away strip. United in their home strip of red. Liverpool playing from right to left. Dominic Szoboszlai about to get us underway. And we are off, my friends. We are off. The ball goes back to Freddie Woodman, who does the decent thing and launches it out long left side. I haven't said that in a while, where Gakpo wins the first header. And it goes through to Lamons in the United goal. Come on, you Reds. Well, no Reds, but you get what I'm saying. Come on, you Red men. We'll sync up for everybody at 1 minute. Lamons with the ball at his feet here for United and waiting for the Liverpool press to come on, which Szoboszlai does. It's now back with Lamons again after passing it around a couple of United players. He goes out to Heaven, back to Lamons. He puts the boot through it, launches it long upfield. Jones wins that first duel. Ball breaks to Szoboszlai. He heads it to McAllister. Wirtz. Out right side to Jeremy Frimpong. Wirtz ball, though, is behind him and it goes out for United throw-in. Right, folks, we are at 1 minute and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Right, United play a ball upfield looking for Brian Mbeumo. Ricochets back in, though, to Casemiro. Now to Sesko. Sesko plays it out right side to Dalot. Dalot to Brian Mbeumo. United getting Bruno running on the overlap. And Mbeumo now. Ball into the right channel too. Bruno Fernandes. His ball inside is intercepted by a Liverpool player. And now we like to break with Wirtz. Robbo's ball straight to a United player though. Casemiro. Back to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno puts in an early cross. And it's well defended by Curtis Jones. Well done, Curtis. Ball put in there looking for Benjamin Sesko. The offside flag was up though, but well done Curtis Jones anyway, coming across and covering. I don't think it was Bruno that was off. No, he held his line. It wasn't him that was off. Yeah, good spot with the linesman. Benjamin Sesko went a little bit too early there. He coming back from an offside position, never really got back onside, but still a good bit of covering from Curtis Jones. Right, Woodman's going to be going long here with the free kick. Be interesting to see how Freddie gets on today. Obviously, he had a good performance in the last one. And Woodman launches this one long out left side. Gakpo goes up for the header, but the ball goes straight out of play according to the referee. It'll be a Manchester United throw-in about 10 yards inside their half on the near side. Dalot throws the ball back to Maguire. Back to Dalot. He goes back to his keeper. Out to Aiden Heaven. Ball looking for Luke Shaw, but it's behind him, and thankfully for us, it goes out, and it's a Liverpool throw-in. Bit sloppy there from Heaven, but we'll take it. Jones, the Gravenberch. Again, that was stupid. We were 15 yards inside the United half. We give it back to them. Our goalkeeper clears the ball straight to Brian Mbeumo, and now we're doing some defending. All come from a stupid throw-in in the opposite half of the pitch. This is idiotic. And Mbeumo now with the cross in, and it goes behind. That is stupid, ladies and gentlemen. We have a throw-in 10 yards inside their half. Jones tries to take it quickly, sends it too far behind Gravenberch, sends him scrambling back. He goes to Woodman. Woodman's clearance is awful, and it goes straight to Mbeumo. And from there, United set up an attack, and thankfully for us, it goes behind for a goal kick. But that's just ridiculous. It's just silly throw-in. It's so... That, by the way, that's another reason why I'm anti-slot. It's because everything is boringly safe. Not looking forward there with the throw-in. Let's just get the ball, keep possession, and go backwards. That's the mindset I'm talking about. It's just not right. Maguire to Kobe Mainoo. Back to Harry Maguire. Dalot. He goes down the line to Brian Mbeumo. Early ball across. Well defended by Ibrahim Kanade. Well done, Ibu. Corner kick to Manchester United. So again, Dalot uses the full width of the pitch. Slips it down the line to Mbeumo. His early cross, looking to pull it across the front of the 6-yard box. Thankfully, Kanade was switched on and gets a good contact on it, and it goes behind for United corner. I love the little clown in the chat said, I'm not listening to the moaning from the start, boy. It's not my fault they're not playing well from the start, mate. I didn't fucking put the team out there. One 0 United. Matheus Cunha, strike from distance. Are you going to listen to the moaning now? That we're 1-0 down after less than 6 minutes? Here we go again. And we're off. But it's okay, though, because, you know, I'm the moany one. You can see this stuff coming a mile away. They've started the better team. They've started brighter. They look more aggressive than us. I think Sipka Hulshoff's unhappy. Let's have a look at this anyway. The corner comes in from Mbeumo. It's headed out. I think they're trying to say there was 2 United players in Woodman's view, but let's have a look. Yeah, I'm sorry, but the keeper could see that. For me, there's nothing wrong with that. Look, I don't think there's anything wrong with that personally. I don't think they're in the goalkeeper's view. I don't think they impeded him in any way. I think that was just lax defending once again from us. And I think that's another set-piece goal. And the goal is given and we're back underway. Sipka Hulshov was talking with the assistant, but there we go. Let's see if we can get a quick response. Soboslai, Frimpong, ball back in. Gakpo, oh, he's missed the fucking sitter. Oh, the offside flag was up. What did I say earlier on in the build-up, folks? What did I say? United are going to start quick. You got to be ready for that. First 10 minutes, nothing stupid. Did I or did I not say that? Now let's look about how that goal came about and the pattern of play that sent it there. It all starts from that stupid little period of time where Curtis Jones takes a throw and that sends us backwards, and it all starts from there. United then, back attacking. Canade defends well, corner, goal. I rest my case. We gave away an early goal. Again, said Chase and Vlogs. We don't even try anymore is the problem. Zero effort. It's just... yeah, it's going to be a fucking long 90 minutes. This is just so frustrating as well because you know they're going to start fast at home. You know it, like, you've got all week to prepare to build for this. And again, our mental mindset is so negative that we're again trying to play it backwards and be safe and keep the ball. Why aren't we proactive? Why aren't we looking forward? And this is the Slot era. He thinks control of a game is knocking it around inside your own half. And the players, look, they need to fucking wake up as well. Because, oh, here we go, Gakpo. He's dispossessed. Because United have their tails up now, and this could get messy. Come on, boys. Jones. It's funny, I mentioned before the game, Cunha and Buomo players to worry about today, and he got 2 bites of the cherry. His first shot came back, then he got on his left foot and it ricochets off Alexis McAllister's backside and past Freddie Woodman. And that was the start we absolutely didn't need. McAllister, Soboslai, right hand side. Gravenberch, his low ball in, cleared by Heaven. Have to say, already, next goal in this game feels like a huge one. If United get it, God, I worry. If we get it, maybe we get back into it. Maybe we find some confidence. But what we cannot do now is concede. If he loses bad enough, do they finally fire him? Getzlaw out of my club. Look, let's not think about losing yet. We're behind, but there's plenty of time in this. Wonder if the lads have another little trip booked to Italy or anything for the early part of this week after this game, you know? Another little holiday mid-season. Ball back out now to Heaven again for United. He plays it into midfield. Cunha, I think it is, sweeps it out right-hand side to Dalot. His ball inside, ricocheted behind, back with Robertson. Robertson to Woodman. Woodman goes long with his left foot. Gakpo heads it forward, but Dalot has it. Now it's with Maguire, back to Dalot. His ball inside's behind Casemiro, but Kobe Mainoo's there to intercept. Harvey Lewis said, here we go again. No Mo in the squad. ML Craig. Much love to you as well, my man. Thank you. Russ said, I'm not buying anything Liverpool until they fire a Slot. I said the same, Russ, which is going to break my heart, mate, because you know me and Adidas. But I'm not buying anything else either. Not a cent. Nothing for my kids. Nothing for me. Nothing. Not one Houlden pound or euro is going towards anything Liverpool related while these clowns are still allowing this farce to continue. Crazy how a young centre-back like Heaven shows more fight than veterans like Virgil. Yep, Also crazy that they're willing to play their young player, like I said, out of necessity in an injury crisis, whereas Rio's still sitting on the bench. And I mentioned it before the game, and I stand over it. Honestly, I think if Rio was in a United shirt and they were in the same scenario, he'd play. And that tells me a lot. And I don't think I'm wrong on that. Honestly, I think if he was a United player and United were in our predicament, he'd be playing. Is that true, Max? Max said, "Hey Craig and everyone, Sir Alex Ferguson be taken away in an ambulance from Old Trafford, wishing him all the best. Hoping for a good result today, but looking like more of the same. Come on, boys." Frimpong now wide right. If that's true, and again, I've not seen it, I don't know, but if it is true, obviously wishing him all the very best, you know, an absolute icon of our sport. Obviously, an icon from a huge rival of ours, but wishing Sir Alex the very, very best. Yeah, hope we get some good news on that one. Of course, if we do hear anything else, we'll let you know, but wishing Sir Alex good health. Nearly 2-0. Nearly 2-0. A save from Woodman. United carved us open again. Second ball in. Ball's in the back of the net and it's 2-0 and it's fucking Keystone Cops defending. Lads, we can't defend. It's an embarrassment. We're an embarrassment. What the actual fuck? Like, seriously. We laugh about the term Keystone Cops, but that's what you're looking at here. It is Keystone Cops defending. It is child defending. It is pathetic. 2-0 down inside 15 minutes at Old Trafford. This is your Liverpool now. This is what they're backing. This is what Hughes and Edwards think is going to get us through. This clown. This shit show. 2-0. And we're not even 15 minutes into the game. And it is... To say Keystone Cops defending is probably an understatement. It is fucking pathetic defending. First one in, saved by Woodman, ball ricochets out. We still have a chance to reset. Fernandez ghosts in, Robbo looks at him, then switches off. Fernandez wins the header. Back across goal. Woodman then plays it on to the United player and it's in the back of the net. Look at them. They seen him, both of them. Canade and Robbo both looked behind them, seeing Bruno Fernandes and did fucking nothing. And Canade jumping past the ball again. Again. How many times? This is truly pathetic. As much as I want to win, you know we ain't good enough, and it's been the same all season. I don't see a draw. I hate slots football. There isn't anything to slots football, mate. It's just empty. There is no brand. This is what I'm saying. We don't have a fucking brand. 2-0 outside, 2-0 down in 15 minutes. And they've had a week to prepare for this. VAR's looking at a potential handball here. VAR's looking at a potential handball, and honestly, I've got to say, I don't see a change in the sphere of the ball. They're still talking about it. Goal given, 2-0. Look, it would have been shitty to rule that out. And I think it was inconclusive evidence of the hand anyway. Yeah, but lads, we're a fucking disgrace. We're a disgrace. Get this clown out of here. This is going to be a 5-0, said Itachi. Relax, everyone. Hughes and Edwards and Slot have it all under control. Yep. They remove emotion from the decision-making process, Brian. You know, they're the clever people. We're the toxic, dumb idiots who just have to sit through it. Well, good talking to you lads for 15 minutes. See you next week. Slot out, Hughes out, Robbo can't cover the rat. Said ESG Soccer. And this is what the club wants instead of Xabi, said just some dude. Can't believe I woke up for this, said Grizzly. I'm done. Hope that trip to Italy was worth it, gang of wasters. Yeah, on the little jolly bobs again. Fucking ridiculous. Remember those remember those with short memories. How's that look now? Exactly, Russ. Remember, like I've said, remember all the cook journalists that allowed this shit to happen. Remember them. Don't forget it. Remember each and every one of these pathetic, spineless fuckers that told us to back this manager. This clueless fraud of a manager. Remember it. Remember it. Because I'm going to make sure they fucking remember it. Every single one of them. Spineless fucking cowards. He has to go this afternoon. The only deserving a legendary send-off are Robbo and Salah. This manager should see none of that. Back him, said Itachi. Turned it off at 1-0. Let me know when slot's gone. Gaming Gaz. Look, mate, I get it. I get you're happy, Gaz. And look, I do begrudge you that happiness. But look, if the shoes were reversed, I'd be the same. I don't mind any banter that comes our way. We deserve banter. I'm big enough to take it. I'll give it. I'll take it. But do you know what? I'm feeling more bantered by my own club than I am any United fans or anything like that. I'm feeling more bantered by the fact that our club are so fucking clueless and so cowardly that they won't do the right thing. Let them have 7-0. Hopefully that gets them the sacks at Chasing Vlogs. Gravenbert's now in possession. He goes out right side to Jones. Sean Maguire said at this point we should just boycott Anfield till Slot gets sacked. Board doesn't want to learn. I'm done with this. F this and FSG needs to go right now, said the Wonder Man. Look, lads, I don't know what to say. Like, here's what I would say to my fellow Reds out there right now. And this, I think, probably sums it up better than anybody can say. The scoreline's 2-0, and we're not even at 20 minutes. Now, here's the question. Is anyone surprised? Genuinely, folks, are you surprised that we're 2-0 down after 20 minutes? Because I'm not. And that in itself is sad. We talked about effort. We talked about making sure we showed up. We talked about giving nothing away in the opening 10 minutes. All basic stuff. And here we are. Did we learn from the first one? No. Second one? No. It's an absolute shit show. And anybody that tries to say that there is any semblance of going in the right direction with this club are just fooling themselves and are trying to fool other people. And I apologise that you all have to sit through it. And my heart's breaking. Like, I look and I see the chat and I see the hurt and the pain. And we all know some of this is preventable. But you've got a coward in the dugout and two fucking cowards in the executive box. And they're the cause of this. But like I said many times before, they'll all fuck off. But we'll still be here when this mess is carried on. And that's what makes this so egregious. It's the very people that are causing us this fucking pain are going to be gone. And we're going to be left to suffer the consequences for the next 2, 3, 4 years. Sack him. Bring in Xabi. Admit you were wrong. And save the direction of this football club. Stevie boy said, off to bed. It's 1 a.m. I've had enough. Sack him. I've posted a petition in the chat slot out. I'm not signing any petitions, Joey, with all due respect, mate. Because it shouldn't get to that point. There should be no need for a petition. Anybody with any type of common sense should look at this and just know. You know, it's not hard to figure out. He hasn't got it in him. Every big game now, we're getting spanked. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you, Burnt. Don't get an experienced goalkeeper in goal. Look, there's not much we can do on the goalkeeping department. In that one, you have to say we've been unlucky. I'm not going to throw any shade at Freddie Woodman. You know, he stepped into a difficult situation, and yes, it hasn't been great, but, you know, Freddie's doing the best he can, and I've no hate in my heart for Freddie whatsoever. You know, the goalkeeping is one area where, look, I have to admit, I have sympathy with the club, because, of course, 2 goalkeepers being out is very unusual. But after that, that's kind of where the sympathy kind of ends. Fua said, I'm sorry, but I wish the worst on Slot. Burnt again, thank you, bro. It's okay though, our XG will be higher than theirs, said Tom. Or he'll tell us that they massively overperformed their XG. Anyway, look, let's get back to the game. Aiden Heaven on the ball for United. Do you know the difference here is every time United get the ball, they're looking to attack and they're putting it into wide areas. And those wide players are direct. Whereas we have Cody Gakpo here running around like he's going around a fucking roundabout. And United are making use of the full width of the pitch, holding players wide, full-backs overlapping. McAllister. Gravenberch. Unlucky. Gravenberch tries to strike, has United keeper scrambling to his left, but wrong side of Lemon's post, and it's still 2-0 to United. Not far away, that from Cody. Burnt said, sack Slot, better managerless, I'd watch again. I don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you. Look, I don't understand, dude, what they're seeing that we're not. You know, game after game, time after time. It's clear, at the very least, that the players have no belief in this system. Because we know these players aren't stupid. We know that they're well able to take on instruction. But it feels like they're playing with one hand tied behind their back, you know, because of this stupid, cowardly system. Everything about us is passive under Arne. And we talked about that as well. When you're look to the sideline, you have a passive coach and you have a passive captain. Just, it all feels, the balance just doesn't feel right at our club at the minute. And it's so crazy to say that after the year we had last year winning the league and the optimism we all had. But look, here we are again. 25 minutes in at Old Trafford, it's United 2-0 up. Mitchell said, sorry, Craig, I've turned off. We're embarrassing. Can't see any way back here, Craig, to be honest. Look, I said to you guys when United went 1-0 up that the next goal in the game is huge and that we have to get it. We didn't get it. They got it. And now, again, it feels like a long way back, if there is to be any way back in this game. Jones is still carrying the ball forward, trying to make stuff happen. He was fouled there by Casemiro. We will have a free kick, but, you know, what we absolutely cannot do now is concede a third. You know, I know that sounds very straightforward, but if we concede a third before half-time, this could be anything. So, like I said a while ago, next goal is important, but important for different reasons now. If we were to pinch one back, you think maybe. But if United grab the next one, that's all she wrote. United has a United guy as their coach who knows the importance of this fixture. And like I've said before, this Liverpool coach inspires nobody. You're right. And Michael Carrick knows. And I said that. Knows what it means to wear that United shirt. Knows what the fans want. Knows what's expected. Oh! Should have been 3-0. Bruno Fernandes just missed the sitter. Thank fuck. That could have, and probably should have. Bruno's furious with himself. Again, look at the state of this. United players wide and our players just running backwards. It's that's, come on. Come on. Fuck. This is like watching somebody ride me misses and I'm helpless just looking at it. Remember what I said before about the dildo of consequences rarely coming lubed? Well, how's that feeling right now? Because we're getting the dildo of consequences right now. Consequences of not doing the right thing and sacking Slot. Gakpo, the Wirtz drags a shot wide. See, all these missed shots, Slot's going to say, we should have scored, could have scored. That game could have been 19-all. Ian said, I'm glad I'm not watching this match. Couldn't be bothered watching this boring football. He needs to go. Top 5 should not paper over the crack, said Henry. Henry, the top 5 thing, again, mate, it's pathetic from anyone that wants to push that as any type of achievement for us this year. And I've never understood it. I've never understood how the revisionism was allowed to just come in to the conversation without being... Well, I do know why, and it comes back to our old friendly journalists again, and them not having the courage to say what we're all seeing, that this is wholly unacceptable, has been wholly unacceptable all season. But, you know, we've got Dominic King out there telling us that Slot would be perfectly within his rights to walk away from Liverpool. I wish he fucking would, Dom. I wish he would. But he won't, because there's 8 million reasons that he won't. The guy said, I can't even look at Slot. I despise him. Steve said, Sesko's knob has a higher XG than our entire team. We are a bad team. That's on Arne Slot, said Mr. Acentino. It's, yeah. Gravenberch now to Virgil. Maka back to Canade. Lads, remember, this could have been 3-0 there with that Bruno Fernandes chance. And what's really annoying is we're not even making them work hard to create these chances. Seems like every time United attack, we look like it's a big problem. We look all over the place. Our shape looks wrong. Their wide players are having a field day against their fullbacks. Jones is doing as much as he can, but look, I don't know what to say. FSG are too soft, won't get rid of them, they're clueless. No, it's not that they're too soft, Mitchell, it's that they don't care. Champions League football money is all they care about. Like I've said all season, owners that want to win wouldn't put up with this shit. They wouldn't. Owners that really, really want to win ruthlessly wouldn't put up with this. We're on now for 18 defeats this season. There's no world where a Liverpool manager should keep a job with 18 defeats after spending £450 million. Like, that's the crux of this. Whichever way they want to dress it up. Busy Media said Arne will blame this on injuries, just watch. Of course. What he won't do is take responsibility for it, Busy Media, because he never does. Another ball in. Dallock. Canade heads it away. Gakpo looking to play out. Maka now. Soboslai. Look at, again, he gives it straight back to Kobe Mainoo. Fuck me. And Bomo now. Free kick United. Kobe Mainoo fouled. Jennifer said, I was convinced we'd draw or win this. Carrick has been so lucky since he came in, but Slot can't even get it up for him. Pathetic. Yeah, he can't. Look, Jennifer, we said this all season. Arne Slot couldn't inspire an erection in a brothel. Like, genuinely. It's sad, isn't it, Jennifer? When we have the ball, the game slows down, but when United have it, the game comes alive. Exactly, Suleiman. Because they're being direct. Because they're playing their brand of football. They're playing football in the Manchester United way. Get wide players running. Get fullbacks overlapping. Get good balls into the box. And back your centre forward to make something happen. Then you've got Bruno mopping up on the edge of the penalty area. I mean, but you know, our lads block out the outside noise, so that's all good. Virgil heads that one away, drops to Dalot. I don't know what he's trying there, but it goes behind for Liverpool goal kick. You know, our lads are great about telling us how they block out all the noise and all. Well, maybe they need to listen. Maybe the noise is right. Aren't banging on about social media again during the week? You know, that social media isn't the real world. The fans are still behind him. I mean, he's so delusional. They're not behind you, mate. They really aren't. At least that Rio, shameful, Arna. I know, mate. But you knew, let's be honest, like deep down, even when you heard Isak might be injured yesterday, did you really think he was going to start Rio today? Like, I don't think I'm being facetious to say that you're not, like, we're not surprised Rio isn't starting. We're disappointed, but not surprised. Chris legit said, legal to protest in front of Arna's house. No, mate, never go to somebody's home. No, that's off limits. All we can do as fans is protest with our wallets, with our voices on social media. And like I said before, all I'm going to do is not buy anything. I'm not spending a penny. I spend at least £1,000 on Liverpool stuff this year. For me, kids, family, giveaways. Not spending a penny next season while Arna's still here. Not going to a game. Not paying for an All Red membership. Nothing. And I dare say I'm not on my own with that. I'm never going to stop watching Liverpool. But right now, it feels like the club's drifting and nobody gives a shit. And the fans are, again, just constantly being gaslit by idiots like Dominic King, telling us that Arne Slot would be in his rights to walk away from Liverpool. I mean, fuck you. What type of bait and nonsense is that? We have a right back playing right wing. Well, they won't play him right back, Ahmad. That's the mad part, bro. That's the mad part. Our central midfielder playing right back and our actual right midfielder players on the bench. We also have no striker, but we're playing a formation that benefits from a striker up top. But that's been the case a lot of this season, hasn't it? You know, players being played, midfielders in particular being played out of position. You're right, Ahmad, mate, you're right. But unfortunately, I'm not surprised at all, bro. I'm not. Our squad is so thin today. Their way we winning? What? I don't know what that means, Paul, mate. Sorry. Squad is thin, definitely, Paul, but again, I'm not giving any more excuses, Paul, or any more goodwill to slaughter the group because, you know, they don't deserve it after this season. You know the phrase, the lunatics have taken over the asylum? Well, it feels like the dweebs have just taken over Liverpool Football Club. That's what it feels right now. The accountants, the geeks, and the dweebs have taken over and moved any emotion out of the club, moved any footballing belief out of the club. That's what it feels like. And you know what I find very infuriating about it all? Is that they're answerable to nobody and they fucking hide away. That's the part that I find most egregious about all of this. Is these arseholes that are briefing their friendly journalists, are gaslighting Liverpool fans, and they're hiding away and they never ever show up for an interview, a conversation, anything. The way we felt about this manager this time last year compared to now is honestly really disappointing. Kevin, I said it so many times, mate. It takes a lot to get from that to here. There's no pen, by the way. There's no penalty. I see it in the chat. There's no penalty. I've seen the replays of the handball, by the way. I've seen a replay of the Sesko handball. So here's the question that I would have, right? Now I'm going to be honest about this before anybody has a pop at me. And what I'm going to say now is my honest opinion. When we looked at the VAR situation and we looked at their replay and we looked at what VAR seen and what we were shown, I think you couldn't definitively say it was a handball. That was my honest view. But the question I would have now is, how have Sky got the technology to show that more clearly and VAR haven't? I think that's the question here, in that I can understand from the VAR official's view that there was no conclusive evidence that that ball hit his hand from what we seen at that moment when the VAR hub were there. Obviously, what Sky showed us there was very different. We'd clearly seen the ball hitting the hand there. So the question here is, why the fuck have Sky got that technology, but the people making decisions that could impact the season for a club don't? That's the concerning part of this for me. Because of course it makes you feel more aggrieved when you see it afterwards. But in the real-time moment, I said it and I have to be honest about it, I didn't see definitive evidence of a handball. But there, you do see it. Alan, it doesn't matter, mate, whether his hand's in a natural position or not. The rule for a handball, if you score and you score in the process and it hits your hand, even accidentally, it's ruled out. It's a weird rule, but that is the rule, Alan. There's no, if you score and the ball strikes your hand, it doesn't matter whether it was accidental or not, it's ruled out. It is a weird law, but that is the rule, mate. How were we convinced that this guy's football was comparison to Jurgen's? Again, Will, that is a question, bro, that you don't see the journalists asking. Is that where is the similarities for your 6 months of your exhaustive search that everybody in the world kept hearing that phrase, after a 6 months exhaustive search, Liverpool, blah, blah. Where are those similarities? The only time we sort of seen them was year one. And then when he gets to put his own stamp on it, like I've said, those similarities have disappeared. And they've been replaced with something that we don't recognise. Nightmare to the AM said he needs to go. No style of football. Slot is not bad in playing 4-2-2-2 like your vid. Slot is not... I'm not even going to bite on that, mate. I'm not even going to bite on it because it's clearly bait. Like, Slot isn't bad. Mate, we've lost 18 games if we lose that this season. Enough said. You don't need me to bite on it, so I'm not going to. 40 minutes on the clock. Still 2-0 at Old Trafford. Love the channel. You're honest United fan. Thank you, Des. This is genuinely the worst season I can remember, and I've supported the team for 40 years. I remember the 90s, and that was bad, but this feels much worse, said Martin Little. It would just feel rudderless at the minute, Martin. It just, there's not much to really get your teeth sunk into with regards to optimism, is there? Now, the lads have kept going, to be fair to them. They've kept plugging away. And after that first 15, last 25, it's been a bit more even. But, early damage has been done there. Now, it's on us. Now, the onus is on us in the game. And United can sit back a bit and try to play in the counter if they need to. Jones now, his ball through, overhit. Looking for Gakpo, goes through to Lamont. Jennifer said the truly sickening part is that after 20 years of domination, United was knocked from its perch and we arguably took their spot in and around the top, but now we're just handing it back. Boycott. Keep Wirtz was she, but Partey's only about 20 mil. Look, like I've said about Wirtz, I'm not giving up on Florian Wirtz. I'm not. I do think he'll come good, and I think he'll come good quicker if you got rid of Slot and put Alonso in charge. United with Cunha again on the attack. Ball dinked to the far post, headed behind. And Mbeumo comes and regathers it. He's got Dalot with him, but Mbeumo puts in a cross deep to the back post. It's overhit and it goes behind for a goal kick. Chasing Vlog said, I'm falling asleep watching our team. Why does he keep playing Gakpo? No impact at all. I think it's because he's the only option we have at the minute centrally, unless you want to go with like Will Wright, let's say, or something like that. Again, they're nearly in. I do have sympathy from the centre back situation or centre forward situation a little bit, but I think for me the really egregious part is not playing Rio. That to me, especially with the way, like, he's a ready-made get out of jail free card to play Rio in this if he doesn't play well, even, because we'd understand, but even at that he won't play him. So I don't know what to say. Who the F is Gakpo? Lost a midfielder. Rio would create more chances. What is he doing on the wing? Not much. Free kick to United now. Bruno over it. 43 minutes on the clock. Liverpool holding the line on the edge of the 18-yard box. United go short. It's back with Bruno Fernandes now again. Look at that. He rolls it into Cunha. Did you see the fucking state of that? Did you see the fucking state of it? They stood there and Cunha's nobody within 5 yards of him when he gets the ball in our 18-yard box. Oh, here. Stop the world, lad. Stop it. It's a fuckery inferno. He stands there. 5 yards. Nobody around him. In our 18-yard box. Fernandes couldn't believe his luck when he looked up and seen nobody was near him. Bro, my eyes hurt. I don't blame you, mate. My eyes hurt. My mind hurts. I want to break something. If this is what we look like without Salah, we're in deep trouble. Only hope is that Rio gets subbed on, scores a hat-trick, and it'll be the next great Liverpool right winger. I mean, I think we're clutching. I think we're clutching there, mate. But the only positive I can take from this so far is that we haven't conceded the third. Gravenberch. Even at that, he takes too long. Gravenberch has a chance to shoot and then dicks around too long, cuts it onto his left foot, shoots, and it's blocked. Then Maguire blocks one with his head, so he's down, and hopefully he's all right. He's down after catching one in the head. The Trucker's ear said the bad news is it's 2-0. The good news is it's only 2-0. Misty said, I'm in Tenerife and I wish I wasn't watching this. Rio's the only forward that can get by their man, and for some reason Slot keeps him on the bench. And then brags about how he's had more minutes than any other 17-year-old in Europe's top 5 leagues. Look, I said at the start of the watch-along, and I'll say it again now. If Rio was a United player and United were in this circumstance, he'd be on the pitch. He would. Same way Heavens is on the pitch. Because they'll back their youth. So, on Sir Alex Ferguson, a little bit here from BBC Sport. They say Sir Alex Ferguson was taken to hospital after falling unwell at Old Trafford shortly before the game. Sources stressed it was precautionary and not an emergency situation, as Ferguson was taken from the stadium in an ambulance. Club officials are optimistic that he'll be fit enough to return home soon. That is good news. And we very much do hope and wish Sir Alex very, very well in good health. So I hope he is back with his family soon. And that is good news that it was precautionary. Corner to Manchester United here at the end of the first half. 4 minutes being added on. Corner to United on the far side. And lovely in the chat, everybody wishing Sir Alex the best. And that's it. Proper footballing people, you know, proper footballing man. Rivalry aside, you know, wishing him the very best, and I hope he's home with his family soon. Right, corner here to United. Bruno goes short to the edge of the box where, again, guess what? There's players there, unmarked. Second ball back in from Bruno. It's deep. Casemiro, side foot. Keeper saves it. It'll be another corner. Although I think they've said it was already wide when one... No, flag was up. Flag was up, offside. Yeah, Casemiro was offside. It was a good spot. Ahmed said, I know it's not the Liverpool way, but we need to start protesting. Matchday fans have to start doing something. We've given them 7 months now. No more, please. Look, I think to be fair, the Matchday fans have made it pretty clear as well that they're not happy. But when you've got people gaslighting your own fan base, trying to convince us that we're somehow lucky to have Slot, I don't know what to say anymore. You know, because we can jump up and shout about it, but we need everybody to be on the same page, and that includes the journalists that have the ability to shape this narrative honestly. And that's all we're asking, is an honest shaping of this narrative, and not some bullshit about fans being behind them when they aren't. Rumours of Slot safe for next season's the pressing, said Christian. They are, mate, but there's no but, really. Sorry, Christian. Sorry, it's just, if they are, you're right. The board recruits Slot because his style is similar to Klopp. However, we all saw this season that his style is gone. That style is gone. I don't know why, but I think his ego took the best of him. Big fan from Vietnam. Thank you, my friend. What I don't understand is, we'd understand mistakes if we were trying to do something that was the players were getting used to. But there isn't an identity to the team. It's half time. There isn't an identity to the team. And no matter how much they try to lie to fans, we can see it. You know, we know good football. We know attacking football. We know what we're looking at. And we know that this is not anywhere near what we played under Klopp. And all the lying in the world and trying to fucking moan about injuries isn't going to change that. He's just out of his depth. And he just doesn't get it. And that's all I can keep saying. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back in 63 seconds. Quick, last final ad read of the day on this one, on the match. This video is sponsored by Huel, and if you haven't heard of Huel, you're missing out. Huel is fast, nutritious, complete fuel for busy people. It's designed to give you everything you'd get from a proper meal. Protein, carbs, fats, plus all your essential vitamins and minerals. You can grab a ready-to-drink bottle in lots of great flavours like chocolate, banana, or my personal favourite, berry. Or if you prefer, you can use the Huel shaker. Just add 2 scoops of their Black Edition powder, give it a shake, and you're good to go. It's quick, it tastes great, and you're getting 40 grams of protein, 10 grams of fibre, carbs, and 26 essential vitamins and minerals. If you're looking for a clean energy boost, this is where Huel Daily A to Z comes in. It's a sparkling multivitamin drink packed with 26 essential vitamins and minerals, plus natural caffeine to give you that lift when you need it most. You're talking just 30 calories per can, low sugar, and still getting electrolytes and 100% of your daily B12 to help fight fatigue. So if you want to give it a try, you can get £10 off any order over £60 by using the code AA10 at checkout. Hit the link in the description or use the QR code on screen and let me know what flavours you go for. Right, my friends, we are back, and thank you to our sponsors, Huel. Right, I seen a comment here from Stephen Copeland that said, we need to support Slot and not just slag him off every time. Stephen, my man, seriously, what is there to get behind Stephen? Truly, like, you're saying just support him. Do you not think that 18 defeats, which is on the card now this season, is not supportable? Like, and I can only speak for me, Stephen, I'm never going to be a fan that just blindly supports anything. I don't blindly agree with anything in my life, full stop. You need to see a reason to support a manager. And he won the league last year isn't good enough when we're already at this point. So the question I would ask you, my friend, is, what is there to support? What is there to get behind? What is there to get our teeth stuck into that really makes you feel like this could go in the right direction? So rather than just trying to make out like you're a top red and everybody else is scumbags for not supporting him, tell us why he should be supported. Because this kind of grows a bit tiring now when people are coming in calling us all fake fans or whatever, but nobody's ever able to justify why this season has been what it is, or why we should back him, or what they're seeing. You don't get points for being a brown noser, mate. If there's something for us to get behind, we'll get behind it. But there's nothing. Kyle said, sick of using Jota as an excuse. It doesn't change the shit football being played this clown out of our club. So, Kyle, a few weeks ago, Alexis McAllister did an interview. And in that interview, Mac has said that wasn't an excuse. And that's coming from the dressing room. So it doesn't matter what I say or you say or anybody else said. That came from the dressing room. They're not using that as an excuse. So anybody that is, as you said, trying to use it as an excuse at this point, I think they're just looking for reasons to be overly supportive. I don't think Rio and Chiesa will be worse now, said Hamoudi. I don't think so either, mate. But look, the only good thing is we didn't concede a third in that first half. Bruno will probably feel like he should have scored a third, but that's it. And we did, after going 2-0 down, find some moments in the game where we had a little bit to us. But again, you know, the damage has been done early. And this is what really winds me up, is it's no surprise that United come out of the blocks fast. You know, it's no surprise that we should have been ready for that. But we don't. It's like we're surprised at home they're going to be up for it. Meanwhile, we're looking at our lads posting images of them in Italy and off on little fucking mini breaks when the season's falling apart. You know, how are we supposed to buy into this? How are we supposed to feel like they give a fuck when they're too busy taking selfies off on holidays than actually being concerned about what's happening? It's not good enough. And all these little pouty selfies and all this little bullshit about we understand, we know, standards, it's all just words and waffle at this point. And it's all empty. Everybody knows what to say. Everybody knows when standing in front of a camera to talk about the club standards the right way, working hard. All the other garbage is just soulless and empty if it's not backed up with effort. And it's not backed up with response on the pitch. So to me at this point, all of this season, all of this, it's all just that. All just that. Because none of them have walked the walk. None of them. Aisha said, for all those fans, Liverpool fans, that are stating Slot deserves another season, if it was up to Slot, would have been sacked last October. He should have been sacked last November or December, in my opinion. Two of the worst goals we've conceded. Second was handball. So the second was a handball, Aaron. But I said it at the time, and I have to be honest, because that's all I really have to offer is honesty. On the replays that we seen from VAR, I don't think you could definitively say it was a handball. You could see there might have been one, but it was only when we seen the really zoomed in Sky one that you got to see definitively that there was a hand. So the question that I would have is, why do we have our broadcasters having the ability to do that, but the VAR hub in that moment didn't have the ability to do it? That is concerning, because now all we feel like is, oh, well, this feels like we're being fucked here. But let's be honest. If it was ruled out for handball, it would have been unlucky. But that's the question I would have with it. Why do Sky have the ability to see it, but the VAR hub don't? Next season, but with an even smaller squad. This next season, but with an even smaller squad. Nimnoy said, don't feel like watching the second half, bro. Did Slot not prepare for their counter-attacks? So you heard Dominic Szoboszlai say before the game that we're going to try and keep possession of the football, or keep the ball as much as we can. That is to try to stop that, but none of it's happening because they let United start quickly. They harness the energy of Old Trafford, and they're making use of the width of the pitch. Look at how wide their fullbacks are. Look at how wide they're... So you've got fullbacks holding their width, then you have Cunha and Mbomo who are in the half spaces but are also drifting wide when the fullbacks aren't there. And there's an outlet every time United get the ball. There's an outlet when Bruno gets to get his head up, ping it into the channel every time. And Robbo's running around, or Jones is running around like headless chickens in circles. United took a short free kick in that first half. And Bruno played the ball, got the ball back, and then he passes it to Cunha, who had 5 yards free on the edge of our penalty area. Look at the defending for the goal, the second goal, where Fernandes wins the header at the back post. Robertson and Canade both looked behind them and still didn't go back, and Canade still overjumps the ball. It's Keystone Cop stuff, and it's appallingly bad. Jaden said, no Fede, no Rio, no Calvin Ramsey. Yep, midfielders and right back. And again, Frimpong on the right wing for what? I don't get it. I don't get it. Last thing I want us to be is Arsenal fans. I don't know what you mean by that, though. Like, look... I think everybody supports football clubs in a different way, and everybody has different tolerance levels, and everybody behaves and acts in different ways when things aren't going our way. I don't know what you mean by Arsenal fans, though, because honestly, if you boil it all down to this simple thing, Liverpool fans are unhappy because the team hasn't been playing well all season. Like, if you boil it down to the bones of it, that's it. Now, the question is, should Liverpool fans be unhappy? And the answer is clearly yes. So then it's a case of how you express yourself in those moments. I'm very emotionally led, so obviously I'm going to be emotional. Other people might be able to compartmentalize that frustration and go about their days. But I don't think there's anybody who isn't disappointed in what we've seen or doesn't feel like this hasn't been good enough. And I don't think we should try to call people out for that, because they're right to be annoyed. They're right to be frustrated. Galileo said, Arne Slot this season is absolutely disgusting. Shane, who said, grey half, players with Sir Alex, hope he's okay. Well, the good news there is that it looked like it was precautionary, Shane. So, again, like we said, mate, wishing him all the best health-wise, and hopefully he's back with his family soon. From the game perspective, honestly, Shane, after that first 15 minutes, I'm just happy we didn't concede a third one. I thought when Bruno Fernandes got on the end of that chance, he was going to score and it would have been 3-0. So thankfully it's only 2. And that's about it for me with regards to positivity. Never seen lads play so bad. Yes, we've had more of the ball and do nothing. Manager knows nothing. Players are doing fuck all. Look at home game. We lost. I know. I was at that game, like I said, and it broke my heart that I waited my entire life to go see Liverpool United, and 63 seconds in, the ball was in the net. Ryan said, last game with my mates at university and this is what we get. Need to be better, 45 minutes. Yeah, look, I know I said it multiple times, Ryan, but I'll say it again. Next goal in this game's huge. Huge. United get it and it could be an absolute whooping. We get it. Maybe they get nervous. Maybe we can find a second, but we need to start this quick. Right back at right wing, central midfielder at right back, left winger at centre forward, central attacking midfielder at left wing, tactical god, said Ray Nimrod. Leopold said, I know I'm late, but the Šeško goal was a handball. It was, but like I said, mate, based off the evidence that we seen at that moment from VAR, I have to be honest and say, when the Sky clip came up, yes, definitively shows a handball. For the VAR clip, what we seen, I don't think, with the evidence we had in front of us at that moment, there was a definitive situation that it was a handball. You could see it might have hit his hand, but it was only when you got to the Sky part. So I guess, like I said, the question is, why can Sky do that, but VAR can't? I think that's a question that we could look to have answered on this in the future. Boo WP said, Slot will moan about depth and ignore Rio and Chiesa on the bench until 70 to 80th minute. Embarrassing that this fraud will be there next season. Page said, Alonso won't wait. If we don't act now, we lose him. I agree with you, Page, mate. I agree, and thank you for 8 months with us as a member. Why do we play over 60s walking football? I don't know, Dave, but again, as we've said many times, where's the similarities to the Klopp era that got him the job? You know, those similarities that we were told after a 6-month exhaustive search that they found a man who plays a similar brand of football with similar philosophies. Where's that gone? But again, I've said this so many times, the dweebs sometimes seem to forget about the immeasurable things, like being able to provoke emotion in people, be able to inspire people, be able to put fear into people. These are things a manager should have in their locker. And let's be honest, Arna could be there jumping up and down in front of you, screaming and shouting at you, and you're just going to give him a little pat on the head and tell him to sit down, and there's a good little man. Because he ain't fucking putting the fear of God into anybody, is he? Or inspiring an erection, like I said. There's nothing that man has that makes you think he can get into the players to turn this around. Nothing. So many empty words and no action at all. Shite, said A. Plexinated, please sack him now. Thank you for your membership, mate. Appreciate you. Mike said, I really fear for this club next season if Slot stays. I think we all do, bro. Those keeping Slot in a job are a feckin' disgrace, said the Hawk. John Murray said, this is awful, pathetic. Slot needs to go, yes, but these players aren't doing the basics, and I'm starting to blame the players a bit more than Slot because they aren't fighting or doing anything. No progression, no professional pride. So on that though, John, ironically, this is where standards does come into it. And yes, you're right. The players are getting off too lightly, but they allowed the standards to drop in the dressing room. And when you allow it to drop, like I've said many, many times, it's really hard to switch that back on. And they've allowed this to happen. And Slot hasn't been able to wrestle back the situation. So I agree with you on both points, John. Derek said, just terrible to watch. Paro said, in Salah's video the other day, Klopp was one of the videos, and he said, we always argued, but respect was always there because they wanted to win. Slot doesn't have respect, so he allows holidays for it. It's crazy, like I've said. It's crazy the lack of hard work being done in between games, and the training methods have become laughable, according to people with a better understanding of it than me. Roy Keane, Liverpool look frightened to death, said Medusa. Jamie, thank you, mate. Wow, that's incredibly kind, Jamie. Hey, Craig, thanks for all you do and being a voice of reason. I know it isn't easy, but your honesty is appreciated. I'm already at the point of not watching games anymore, beyond frustrated. Jamie, mate, I can't tell you what that means. It's so incredibly kind of you, dude. That is why I love what I do, Jamie. I'm not withholding to anybody. Nobody is my puppet master. Nobody can tell me that I have to go easy on this or not, or second half's on the way, or I can't have my say. And that's why we want to stay independent. Because somebody needs to be able to speak out about this shit and be honest about it. Too many are too happy to get their access to be in with the club and won't say what needs to be said. I will. We've almost twice the amount of passes with 62% possession. Have done absolutely nothing with it. Fetch lots possession football if no chances of goals come from it. Yep, but United are happy to sit back and break because they have the pace and they have the ability to do it. That's what we're lacking. We don't have pace. So anyway, look, corner here to United. Starts the second half. Ball in deep. Maguire heads it, and thankfully for us, it goes wide. Going to sync up now for everybody at 46 minutes. It is 46 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Liverpool go long with that one. They went short initially, then Freddie Woodman knocks it long. United had a substitution there, by the way, at half-time. Amad Diallo came on. Can somebody tell me who he came on for? Because Sesko's on, Bruno's on, Cunha's on. Who did Diallo come on for, folks? Was it Casemiro? Sesko, thank you. Sesko, thank you. So it looks like Mbomo's gone central then. Ahmad on the ball now for United. Joseph said, I genuinely hate Slot. Get him gone before the second half. Liverpool on the counter here with Dom. Chance, Dom. Yes, go on, Dom. 2-1. Come on, Dom. Here we go. 2-1. Come on. There you go, Dom. 2-1. Come on, boys. There we go. Lifeline back in. Let's go. That'll do. We'll take that. Diallo passes the ball straight to Dom. Dom then carries it, runs at the United defence. They keep backing off. He cuts onto his left foot and then slides one into the far corner. That we will take. Bit of a gift from Ahmad, but Dom still had a lot to do. He was looking left, looking right. Ahmad was trying to get back at him. He turns Maguire and then just passes it into the far corner. Well done, Dom. Through Dallas' legs. Lamon's no chance. 2-1. Gets in. Gavin, thank you, bro. 2 goals so early. I was praying we don't ship 7. Said Nimnoy. So was I, but now, mate, now I'm praying we can find something here. Free kick to Liverpool now. Shaw slips and in the process takes down Frimpong, so he's getting a yellow. Free kick Liverpool. Come on. We're so close to becoming Ollie's Man United that he scares the crap out of me. PRFC, please appoint a manager. Lead us in the summer. Arsenal fans comment from earlier. I wasn't aiming it at you. I just don't want Liverpool fans to conduct themselves like Arsenal fans did, embarrass their club. I think the ones that are embarrassing the club, Kelly, are in the dugout or wearing the shirt, mate, rather than us as fans. But I get your point, and I got your point at the time, but I think they're on a different level, to be honest with you. Right, anyway, free kick to Liverpool here. Robbo over it. Ball in, it's deep, it's over hit. Goes straight out for a goal kick. Teams never seem to mark Bruno out of the game. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't really watch enough of United on a weekly basis to look at how teams mark him, but he is always somehow able to find those pockets of space. So Lamont now, United still looking to play out from the back. And they've given it back to us here as McAllister wins it back. Now it's with Frimpong. Another foul on him. That'll be another Liverpool free kick in a similar wide area. I see a few players are not fully committed. Jones. Thank you, Rajat. Might go wash the dishes for the second half, said Dahi. Well, I know these were all put in before we got the goal back. But hopefully we can build on that. You know, we got the first goal of the second half, which makes the game a little bit more interesting now. United maybe feel a bit nervy. And Liverpool maybe feel like, hey, we've got nothing to lose, let's go for it. If Arne's still manager next season, we should boycott, said Skyro. Jake said, this began in March 2025. Carabao Cup was a warning. Indeed, it was. It was, mate. There was lots of warnings last year. United now countering with Mbomo. Robbo gets back and Dom wins it. Well done, boys. Come on. See, this is the point where I think you should get Rio on. United trying to play out to Ahmad, but it's overhit and it goes behind. If I'm slot now, Rio's coming on. Because the game is stretching. And it's there. The space is there for Rio. He needs to get Rio on the pitch. He's horrible, said Sleaze. We need Xabi. Love the content, Craig. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Feels like Liverpool and United's roles have reversed, said Corbin. The guy said blocking Rio's pathway is this parasite slot. And I think now I'm caught up. Yeah, cool. Right, Soboslai. Unlucky. He gets another chance though and he slips. Diallo now. United move it out right. I think that's Fernandez on the ball. Back to Kobe Mainu. Inside Casemiro. Save of the Flavour said smash the like button as we can't smash slot. Thank you, bro, for the hit the like button part anyway. Appreciate you. Liverpool have it with McAllister in the centre circle. Come on, boys. Go at them. Robertson. Canade. Jones. Julio said, United do get complacent at times and get in their own heads. We need to take advantage of that. Get Rio on. 100% agree. Rio should definitely be coming off the bench now as this game stretches. Cunha to Dalot. United have it again. United starting to try to take the sting out of this a little bit, move it round. Ball played in behind, control. Oh, they've hit the post. I think the offside flag was up though. Again, there was a ball into the right channel. Fernandez brings it under control with a lovely bit of skill. Plays it to Mbeumo, who tries a little flick and hits the post, but I believe the offside flag was up. Ice Ray, the goal was scored by Szoboszlai, mate. He intercepted the ball from Amad Diallo and then just ran at the United defence. It opened up and he slotted it in with his left foot into Lamont's corner. It was a lovely finish. Jones. Not much movement ahead of him. Woodman, Liverpool just passing it around to the back, trying to draw United on. Jones. Without Szoboszlai, we'd be in the bottom half. Liverpool Player of the Year, said Owen, without a doubt. Szoboszlai, edge of the box. Back to Wirtz. Wirtz strike. Ooh, drags it just wide of the post. We're nowhere near PSG and Bayern standards, said Paul. Oh, we're not, mate. We're a long way from that. A long, long way. Busy Media said, just bring on Rio. Yes, please do. I don't get it, like. Oh, here we go. Here we go. 2-2. 2-2. Gets in. 2-2. Cody Gakpo. United dicking around at the back. Pass it straight to us. Open goal. That'll do. 2-2. United capitulating right in front of our eyes here. Both their goals came from United giving us the ball. We'll take it. 2-2. Cody Gakpo. Whoop whoop. I think that definitely needs a bit of Newlon. United goes short. Heavens goes to Lamont. Lamont tries to pass it out. Passes it straight to Maka. Szoboszlai passes it to Gakpo and he taps it into the open goal. And then we start singing, we don't blame it on the sunshine. We don't blame it on the moonlight. We don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on the boogie. Thank you, United. Appreciate that. 2 goals just gifted to us. That's very nice. I mean, the camaraderie from our Manchester United friends is very welcome. Thank you for that, lads. Now, can we do the unthinkable? Can we go on and win this? Chris said, Gets in, now get Rio on to get the winner. Again, yes, I agree. I mean, if you're a United fan watching this, you must be absolutely fucking fuming. Because both the goals have come from United giving us the ball. Gakpo now. He's challenged by Maguire. Fairly. Bruno. Jones. Liverpool finally looking like there's a bit of life in us. Oh, Frimpong's fallen and he's injured by the looks of it. Yeah, Frimpong staying down. United on the attack with Bruno Fernandes. He whips in the ball and Bomo gets on the end of it but puts it over the bar. Now let's see what's up with Frimpong. Get up! If you're not injured, get the fuck up. If he's injured, fair enough, but I mean, it was just a physical nudge into him. He's back up and running now. Stay down, though. Like, I don't like that attitude. He's bringing Kirkes on for Robbo. Here comes the change. Andy Robertson off. Milos Kirkes on. All players, none of this is slot. Well, to be fair, we got gifted. Well, the second goal was absolutely gifted. The first one we got a huge help with. But look, let's be honest. The players have responded. The players have responded. Whether it's the slot or not, it doesn't matter. They have responded. And they deserve credit for that. Because they haven't folded here. So well done. Because second half they came out. Yes, maybe we got a bit of luck, but they took that luck. And now we look the more confident of the two sides. Come on, boys. Save of the Flavour said, as glad as I am for the comeback, winning only helps slot, which doesn't help my emotional well-being as a Scouser. Such a shite spot to be in. I get that. But this is Liverpool United. It's all about the result. But I do understand where you're coming from, but come on. A comeback win today would be fucking amazing if we can get it. Jones intercepts that ball from heaven. He plays it forward. Ball drops. United win the second ball with Fernandes. He goes back to the keeper. Still should bring Rio on, though. Should be no argument about getting Rio on. That should be a no-brainer. Shaw. Cunha, back to Shaw. United seem rattled, lads. They seem rattled. Take Frimpong off. Absolutely. I think take Frimpong off and put Rio on as the play, but let's wait and see. United now in possession. Try a little flick around the corner. Diallo still with the ball. Fernandes. Back to Ahmad. Into Mbomo. Heaven now. Mbomo. Cunha. Maguire. United moving it around. Liverpool staying in their shape. Diallo. He drifts past one challenge. Then Maka steps in and wins it. Maka to Dom. Dom out to Rio. Excuse me, not to Rio, to Frimpong. Frimpong with a cross. It's a decent ball, that. Back, Gakpo. Strike, deflected, corner. Come on, boys, come on! Game Raptor said, ironically, Carrick is the type of person we need, a person the players will respect, has a system but integrates the players' strengths and focuses on momentum, attacking fluidity and not passes. Well, look, I'm fucking very happy with how this second half is going so far. And it feels like we have the momentum at the minute. So let's just hope the players can carry this over the line. Come on, boys. Dom to take the corner. 62, nearly 63 on the clock. 2-2 at Old Trafford. Right, here comes the delivery. Ball in. Headed away by United. I think it was Casemiro. Jones regathers it. He goes back up to Gakpo. Or to Szoboszlai, excuse me. Szoboszlai fires one in. Verge heads it, but it bounces straight to Lamons. Right, boys, time to get back into shape. Come on. Verge pressing from the front there, but you need to get back. Somebody else needs to step up. Step up. Why are we... Look at that. Look at the fucking time we gave him. Thankfully, though, Mbomo's shy and Kirkes does well. Well done, Milos. Look at the time again. Nobody went to press him. You can't give them that type of time. If Brian Mbomo knew how to control the football, this could be 3-2. Again, can't back off like that and give United time to get their head up and play into the space. Great bit of covering as well from Kirkes to get across, though. Well done, Milos. Jones now. Liverpool go short with the goal kick. Jones, Canade, back to Jones. McAllister. Gravenberch. Here, lads. Just playing ourselves into trouble. We get the throw-in out of it anyway. Craig, no cussing. No, I'll curse whenever I want, mate. Sorry. Who am I not cursing for? That argument is pathetic, by the way. It's not my job to police whether you hear curses or not. If you don't like them, no problem, go elsewhere. But don't tell me to stop cursing. I'm Irish, it's my birthright. And who are we protecting from it? Do you think little Johnny and Mary don't hear swearing? Like, that argument is just so pathetic. If you're that soft that a bit of swearing hurts your feelings, then this definitely isn't the right place for you. I never understand that. The language, like, I'd rather hear my children being given positive reinforcement of what they can do with their lives and a bit of swearing rather than somebody being nice and manipulating them in a negative way. Like, there's nothing wrong with swearing. Get over it. Maka. Kirkes. Good cross from him deep. Frimpong, he can't quite keep his eye on the flight of the ball. I think maybe Shaw jumping in front of him distracted him a bit and he doesn't make the right connection. It goes behind for a goal kick. Jones. Frimpong. Szoboszlai back to Jones. Gravenberch. He's brought down. That'll be a free kick. I mean, I don't know how Cunha doesn't think that's a free kick, by the way. Yes, he half pulls out of the challenge, but still makes collision. Right, Dom over this. 67, so we're into the final quarter of the game. Well, almost, a few seconds away. 2-2 at Old Trafford. Szoboszlai over the free kick. Good delivery. How's that not gone in? Oh my days. I don't know how that hasn't gone in the net. It was a great delivery by Dominik Szoboszlai. Bit of a ricochet in the penalty area, and you're expecting the ball to be toe poked or poke into the net, but somehow it's still 2-2. How did that not? It was a great delivery. Incredible delivery from Dom. Oh, jeez, the ball ricochets off and then it's cleared off the line. So unfortunate. Come on, boys. Frimpong. Liverpool throw in. Julio said, I love Frimpong's energy, but he's just not good enough as be a winger. We have an actual winger that he doesn't want to play. Craziness. You would hope he'd give him some time here to make an impact on this game, Rio. You know, it is screaming out from us. The game's becoming more and more stretched. But look, let's be fair, lads. We need to give our boys credit. Yes, United helped us out here, but they've shown fight and they're pushing. And I'm very grateful for that as a fan. Come on, boys. Corner. Szoboszlai showing up again. Player of the year, said Tom. I don't argue with you on that one bit, Tom. Absolutely our player of the year. Coming across here now to take a corner on the other side as well, which will probably be an outswinger from Dom. 69 minutes on the clock. More cursing, please, Craig. Yeah, there's just half of that stuff is bait as well. Like, I don't care if people want me to curse or not. I'm going to curse when I want to curse, and it is going to happen. It is who I am. It is not going to change. Oh, another one flicked on at the near post at United, clear away. Wirtz back now. He goes back to Woodman. Craig missed the chance to say 6-7. Yeah. I've no regrets over missing that opportunity. Just about at the 70-minute mark now. And again, you would wonder, is he going to bring Rio on at any point? Domahawk. Love that one, Bradley. Love that. Domahawk. What a beautiful phrase. Right, free kick to United. Just under 20 to go. Bruno Fernandes over it. About halfway inside the Liverpool half, right hand side. Liverpool holding a defensive line about a yard or so, or half a yard inside the 18-yard box. Fernandes delivery. I mean, it's straight out Woodman, but how did Casemiro get that space? Look at this. Look at him. Who the fuck? That's fucking appalling defending, boys. Casemiro just strolls in, nobody near him, free header, and thankfully for us, it's straight at Woodman. That's shocking defending. Like we said it before the match, you can't be letting Maguire or him get free headers. They're two most dangerous players with headers, and we're giving them free space. Wow. Another hairy situation, just about cleared here. Jones brings it away for Liverpool. Ball in field to McAllister. He works it out left-hand side to Kirkes. Wirtz. He's fouled. Free kick. Bruno's going to cry. Somebody get Bruno a tissue. Call an ambulance. Bruno's crying. Right, Dom over this one. Rio's about to come on. Go on. I think they're going to take the free kick first, I think. I mean, the ref's being a dick here about where he's putting the ball. Fuck me, ref. You're moaning about 3-4 centimetres here. But when you get a free kick in other parts of the pitch, they can pinch 5 yards. Get away, you dickhead. Right, Dom. Top bins. We'll talk about this later. Go on, knuckle it. Top bins, Dom. Come on. No look in the past, Dom. Shoot. Top bins. Let's go. Come on. Right, Dom. Come on. Right, here we go. Dom over it. Strike straight into the wall, which had jumped about 5 yards forward, by the way, referee. But again, didn't spot that. That'll be a yellow card for Curtis Jones. One he had to take to stop a counter-attack. Yeah, that's one of them. Have to take it for the team. Well done, Curtis. He did the right thing. He had to take that one. Right, 16 to go. Rio finally coming on to replace Frimpong. Right substitution. Maybe 15 minutes later than I would have wanted, but still right change. Here comes Rio. Right, Rio, come on. Time to write your name in history, fella. And Bomo's getting substituted for United. I think it's, is it Patrick Dorgu coming on? Right, we're back on the way. 15 minutes to go at Old Trafford. Patrick Dorgu on to replace Mbomo for United. Rio on to replace Frimpong for Liverpool. Virgil to Woodman. Out to Canade. Soboslai. Gravenberch. McAllister. Pings one out left side, but it's dealt with by Dalot. He heads it down to Maguire, back to Dalot. Maguire now gives it back to Dalot. He goes past one. Back inside to Fernandez, or excuse me, to Casemiro. Then to Bruno. Dalot, back inside again. Kobe Mainu now brings it forward for United. Inside the Liverpool half left side, he gives it to Shaw. Dorgu. Mainu. Cunha. He goes in behind. Shaw takes a touch, puts in a cross. Diallo heads it down. 3-2 United. Kobe Mainu. Beautiful goal from him on the edge of the box. 3-2 United. Fuck. It's a good finish for Mainu. Fuck. That one hurts. Well, you got to say there as well, it's an extraordinarily good finish from young Kobe Mainu, but you know, they were probing, they found a bit of space in behind. Then the ball's floated in, it's headed back by the Diallo, sort of cleared by McAllister, and then it drops on the edge of the box, and Mainu gets there before Szoboszlai, and what can you say about the finish other than it's an exquisite finish? Side foots it low into the corner, nothing Woodman can do about it. It's through the legs of Dom as well. It's just a good finish. Oh. Oh, that one stings, lads. I'm not going to lie. That one stings. We've got to do it all over again. We can't defend, can we? You know, great finish that from Mainu, but like in the build up to it and stuff, we can't defend. How many stupid chances are we giving up? Anyway, good finish from Mainu, but fuck me, that one stings, lads. Szoboszlai, Jones. Ray Nimrod said Rio needs to come on at 50 minutes while on top. I don't know how to feel at this moment in time, to be honest with you, because, you know, one part of me wants to give credit to the lads for getting back into the game, showing fight, and, you know, not accepting their fate. But defensively, we just give up too many chances. We just do. And it was a great finish from Mainu, and I'm not trying to take away from that finish at all, but fuck me, it's frustrating when you do all the hard work and then you undermine yourself again. Victor said, I hope we sell Maka. He's not having a great season. But yeah, I just don't know. I've been concerned about our defending throughout the whole game. You know, United are just finding too much space. But it was a good finish from Mainu. Not really much more after that, I can say. There will be people tried to say Rio wasn't tracking back, but again, I don't buy into that. United now have numbers. This could be trouble. Dorgu, he goes to the ground, nothing doing there. That should have been 4-2, and United made a mess of it. That's a snidey challenge, that, from Fernandes. That's a dirty little challenge, that is, from Fernandes. Initially, it's a yellow, but I need to see a replay of this. That wasn't a great challenge at all from Bruno. He looks surprised to get a yellow. I mean, come on, mate. Seriously? It's an out of control. Look, jumps off the ground. Just jumped off the ground. Straight in. I don't know. That's snide. That's a snidey little cowardly challenge from Fernandes. But of course, yellow doesn't get upgraded. Don't ever talk to me about out of fucking control challenging again, by the way, because he literally launched himself into that. But anyway, Liverpool on the counter now. Rio. Oh! Unlucky. Oh! Unlucky, Rio. Danny said, why did we stop pressing after a second goal? I don't know, Danny. We had the impetus in the game. You know, we had the momentum. And, yeah, their goal really did feel like a sucker punch, to be honest with you. But, I don't know. Look, let me give you my take on that Fernandes challenge, right? If he slid in and makes the contact the way he did, I'd have no issue. with that challenge, except for a yellow. But it's the fact that he lunged in off his feet out, in my opinion, out of control. That's what concerned me about the challenge. It was the way he leapt into it off the ground. But look, it is what it is. We are where we are. Maka, Soboslai, he loses his footing. Ball breaks to Wirtz though. Cross in, headed away by Dalot. Gravenberch plays it off a United player. Cunha just about keeps it in. And then Jones. What the fuck was that, Jones? Like, seriously, Curtis, what was that? We've got it back, though, with Canade. Seven minutes to go at Old Trafford. United wrestle back the lead 3-2. Rio, far left. Gravenberch to Wirtz. Jones. Back to Wirtz. Jones. Soboslai. Wirtz. Soboslai. Back to Jones. Liverpool just trying to work a better angle. Soboslai. Heavy touch. Just about key possession though. Virgil goes out to Rio. Gakpo, his turn and strikes, not much power in it, and Lamont easily gets down and saves it. They look petrified when Rio gets on the ball. And the fact that it's taken, you can see even in the United fans, you can see when Rio gets on the ball, look at the stands and look at the United fans. Even they're concerned when he gets on the ball. Curtis Jones now. Gravenberch, to Gakpo. Casemiro brings it away for United. He's clipped. Free kick to United inside the centre circle, just inside the Liverpool half. Yellow for Cody. What Wutz? You mean Wirtz? Dorgu, his ball across, defended. Jones clears it out. Wirtz takes a touch. It's with Soboslai. Bumbadog said, back to badge, not this direction. Heavy spend, worse results. Leaky defence, no identity. Players look done. This isn't Liverpool. Slot system isn't working. Wrong fit. Time to fix it. Get him out. Well, let's get through the game and we'll talk about it in the match reaction. Because look, I want to try and be fair about this. There's been good and bad. The lads showed a bit of bottle to get back into it. And there's Rio skipping past challenges. Unfortunately, runs out of pitch. Unlucky Rio. At least he's trying to make stuff happen. Look, there's two parts of this. There's a big part of me that feels like they didn't capitulate and that they kept going. And I think there needs to be some positives for that. But ultimately, it's a results-driven business, right? And as we sit here now, we're on for number 18 defeats-wise for the season. And that, in the greater context, isn't good enough. Cunha coming off now for United. And I don't know if I'm looking at this because I'm thinking 2-0 down after 15, this could have been anything. But, you know, they get some credit, in my mind anyway, for fighting back into the game. As much as United helped us out there, you know, they did put a shift in, if nothing else. Yeah, I'm trying to find positives from this. And obviously Rio on now is here we go. Here's the roll of the dice from Arna. Chiesa on and Canade off. So we're at that stage again where Slot's identity and tactics go out the windows. He just looks to throw on everybody he can forward now to get something. It's full Ruben Amorim, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer stuff this now from Slot. It was Joshua Zirkzee came on for United. Maka out left side to Kirkes. Jones. Back to Virgil. 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go at Old Trafford. So far, United leading it by 3 goals to 2. Maka. Gravenberch. Kirkes. Out to Rio. Well done, Rio. Stuck to his task, kept the ball, gets it back to Kirkes. McAllister to Virgil. McAllister out to Rio again. Back to Maka. Virgil. Out to Jones. His ball's telegraphed straight to United, who now tried to start a counter, but Bruno Fernandes' ball to Dorgu's overhit. And Florian Wirtz gets back and goes back to Freddie Woodman. Jones. Maka, his ball's intercepted. United now work it out to Ahmad in the right wing. Casemiro, he switches it up to Patrick Dorgu, left side now for United. Dorgu tries a strike and thankfully for us drags it wide, goal kick Liverpool. Jane said, Craig, seeing what Rio's doing for them when he's been on the pitch, I feel sorry Slot doesn't play him more. Yeah. Look, this was the perfect game that you could have rolled that dice with Rio. And even if it didn't go well, you had an excuse that we needed forwards. We had to try something. He didn't do it again. And that's one thing I can't get away from with Slot. It's that he's overly cautious, in my opinion, and he's a passive manager. You know, and I think every time it comes to a difficult decision, he errs on the side of caution all the time. 5 minutes added on at Old Trafford. 5 minutes. Soboslai. Gravenberch. He's dispossessed by Shaw. It's with Diallo now. He's fouled. Free kick United. How many defeats is that now? It'll be 18 this season if this result stays the same. It'll be 18, which even to say that number out loud feels beyond ridiculous. Like, this is what I say when I talk about the standards. You know, they talk about the Liverpool way and stuff, but whatever way you dress it up with mini victories or whatever, we've lost 18 games if we lose this season, and that's the underlying number you're not going to get away from. Virgil out to Rio. 3.5 minutes of stoppage time to go. Kirkes, ball pulled back, ricochets, but it's straight through to the United keeper. And by the way, this won't be written about by journalists or anything because they love to fluff Jones. But look at our goal and look at the space that was attacked by United for their third goal and look at the space that was attacked by United. Where was it? It was once again the right back spot where we had nobody. And Jones has also given the ball away, playing it forward on a few occasions. But that won't be written about because they don't do that. Especially the Echo. They don't dare say anything negative about Jones. And I'm not saying Jones has had a stinker, but I'm saying you can see he's not a natural right back in those moments. Gravenberch to Jones. Wirtz. Soboslai to Gravenberch. 2.5 minutes left of stoppage time. Kirkes out to Rio. To Maka. Back to Kirkes. Gravenberch. And by the way, you should expect Curtis Jones making mistakes at right back because he isn't the right back. So I'm not hanging him out to dry. These are things that, aren't a surprise when a non-natural playing fullback does them. Wirtz now works it out to Chiesa. Chiesa cross in. Oh, it's over everybody. United now trying to counter with Dorgu. Free kick to Liverpool. 90 seconds to go. Referee said United player grabbed Liverpool player's shirt. Free kick. Right. Kind of getting into last chance saloon here. Szoboszlai plays the ball in. It's deep. It's straight to Casemiro. Heads it away. Kirkes heads it back in. It'll be a Liverpool throw in. Right side. 45 seconds to go. And they make a fucking mess of that, but they'll have another chance. Chiesa and Szoboszlai now having a few words. Clock's not our friend here. United making a change as well, just to run the clock down. Bruno Fernandes coming off to be replaced by Lenny Yoro. That we were unlucky. That'll be the quote. But look, to me, mate, a loss is a loss, whichever way you want to dress it up. Yes, the boys showed a bit of fight to get back into it, but as we said, fight's a minimum in these situations. But ultimately, it's loss number 18 again, and a 6-point gap between us and United, and that's them safely into the Champions League. Throw and taken. United spread it out right hand side where they have bodies here. And that should have been 4. Dalot skies it when he has a clear strike at goal. That could have been 4. It's all over. Ref blows the whistle. Defeat number 18 of the season for Arne Slot and Liverpool. It finishes at Old Trafford. Manchester United 3, Liverpool 2. What do you say? It's just another defeat and another season of frustration and pain. They showed some balls to get back into it with a bit of help from United, but ultimately we're found wanting again, and United get the victory and book themselves a place in next season's Champions League. They've done the double over us this season. I can sit here and list off numbers for you over and over again, but it doesn't change anything. If the club want to continue on this vein with Arne Slot, I don't see much of an upside to it. The players put in a shift for the badge. Tactically, not great. Another 18 defeats. Look, I'll be having my say in the match reaction, but before I go, ESG Soccer says, why the fuck are we walking while losing? Hate Slot. Both man clubs done the double over us. Utterly pathetic, said Liverpool 1998. And that is the crux of it, mate. There's been too many whoopings this year, too many beatings, too many losses, too much for us fans to have to take. And today is just another defeat and a season of many defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you in 60 seconds for the match reaction. Thank you to our sponsors today, Huel as well. Don't forget to use the code AA10 at checkout to get yourself £10 off your first order of £60 or more. And we'll see you in 60 seconds for the match reaction. At Old Trafford, it finishes Manchester United 3.